future behind me. Na 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 na. I'll keep going, nothing can stop me. Na 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 na.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Truth Be Told. This episode this time is brought to you by the letter L for lawsuits, because we've got a shite ton of them to go over tonight. So, to get things started, let's bring in our guests for tonight. We've got Platinum Sparkles. How you doing?
Hello,
And
good.
Pretty good. Good. And we have that girl trader. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. So to kind of kick us all off here tonight, our first lawsuit for the evening is the big one, dealing with the Atlas Trading Crew. Last we left off with this, for people who've not been paying attention this week, this kind of dropped actually last week. We didn't learn about it until after the show over the weekend. So it was like Sunday or Monday, was it? Something like that. If I this week,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the 25th. So that would have been Monday, right? Or Sunday?
25
Yeah,
was
Sunday.
No, it was after the show, yeah.
Yeah. So like I kind of caught us by surprise. So basically we got the ruling that came down, and
Well, it's what their entire motion to stay was predicated on.
Correct. Yeah, they stayed waiting for the decision in this. The Kousisis
quoted this as the reason to stay their case.
Yeah, I don't know about pronouncing that. Kousisis.
I mean, I think it's Greek, so.
Yeah, maybe we can ask George.
George who?
There we go. Yeah, we can go ask George about how to pronounce that for us.
Help us out. Can skip it. You can see what it is right there.
Yeah. But the really funny thing I think after this post was that Mr. Zach Morris defeated the DOJ moniker out of his. Yeah. I beat the DOJ out of his Twitter moniker right after. So clearly he grasped the nuance that was going on here.
He's still talking shit. He was talking shit today.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, once you've gone to intimidate witnesses and stalk and harass members of
that shit was crazy. I didn't even know about all of that until recently.
Of course, he was going to keep shit talking because, why stop? See, even with this ruling, and maybe have either one of you gotten a chance to read the opinion or listen to the not
in its entirety. I haven't.
Okay, so you've at least listened to some of the.
So I don't think it's gone.
So you've at least listened to Amy to some of the Supreme Court, like the oral arguments part of it.
Yeah.
Because I think that also gives you a little bit of like lead into it. I know I listened to it all the way through. It's an hour and 30 minutes, so I don't think we'll subject people to that endurance run. But the big difference from this is wire fraud as opposed to securities fraud in the case here. In fact, here, let me go listen to it. I'm gonna get the pronunciation right. 1 second here.
Hi, Manuel. By the way. Hi, Manuel.
Kousisis. There we go. Kousisis.
That sounds good.
Did you got to get our Greek right? Yeah, Kousisis.
Okay.
So the big thing here was that even though that there was no actual like monetary or property loss, the fact that they schemed to deprive the property of PennDOT, which is because they were doing bridge painting work for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, PennDOT. That was enough under the wire fraud statute because they knew that the special characteristics in the contract, the DBE, wasn't it? Yeah, DBE, where they were looking for the special businesses that under the contract, because that was asked for and they schemed to basically lie about that. That was depriving them of a characteristic under the contract that was meaningful to it. It was it was material. That's the word I was looking for. Material to the contract. It was material to the agreement, which made it different from some of these other wire fraud cases that the Supreme Court shot down, where it wasn't something dealing with a material contract. Like when you talked about what was the case? I know I should have had Simonelli. There we go. We were talking about Simonelli. There was no actual contract yet. It was deceiving the New York State board that was in charge of this into taking up the contract. The contract hadn't been drawn up yet. They were trying to decide which people were doing that. So on that right of gosh, now I'm blanking on the right to control theory. There we go. I just got to give it a couple seconds. So under the right to control theory, that was struck down by the Supreme Court under Simonelli, that you have a right to information. And really at this point, that's kind of where we're at. Kousisis was dealt more with like the wire fraud stuff, but we're dealing with securities fraud. So I think, what was it? Friday, I jumped in, or was it Thursday? I jumped when you guys were there, and I jumped into Ocelot space real briefly. We kind of talked about some of the troubles of taking Kousisis, which is the wire fraud statute,
I think it was
and transferring it over.
Right.
Transferring it over, because like it's dealing more with contract law stuff. And I don't know, Amy, if you had anything that you thought that really jumped at you from when you were listening to the
I mean, I was just saying, like, Ocelot was saying that he thought it was like a 50-50. And I think that I think that this definitely puts them over the 50-50 threshold. I don't think it's like a slam dunk, but I think it puts them in the driver's seat, puts the DOJ in the driver's seat.
What do you think, Platinum?
I honestly can't remember what I read when I read it.
It was Saturday. Like it's kind of after Friday.
Yeah, that was Sunday, and now it's like Saturday night. So I honestly can't. I'd have to reread it over again, to be honest. But like basically, I saw that Zach Morris took the like DOJ thing out of his bio, so that was interesting.
Yeah. And so like what this really kind of helps is that the big problem that they had, and why Kousisis was important, was that when you buy a stock, you've gotten the good and service that you paid for. So what's the problem here? Where's the fraud? And it kind of makes you go, well, then if that's your argument, like traditional pump and dump schemes that have been prosecuted, that they don't like if you're going to take it that you got your property and it doesn't matter that's not fraud, then your traditional like pump and dumps, like Wolf of Wall Street stuff, or any of the boiler rooms before or after, aren't fraud. You got your property, you got the stock, never mind the fact that the stock is worth significantly less than what you had to buy it.
But somebody is artificially manipulating the price. Like if you just buying a stock, like, and basing it on the market is one thing,
right?
But buying a stock that somebody has already, or I mean, they were telling them that they were still buying. I'm adding more here. I'm adding more here, and literally within seconds they were selling it.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the DOJ decision based on
started to buy it and pump it up? They were selling right into it. So, I mean, I think it's more about their statements, and the enticement of it is going to be, I think, what they're probably going to argue.
Yeah.
And then add into, Zach Morris posting, all at new car he was buying every day is he had 10 properties, because Zach Morris has, like, and he's the only one of them who also has money laundering charges. So because he was transferring millions of dollars from his brokerage account to a bank account and then wiring that money to title companies to purchase property with ill-gotten gains.
So trying to hide that he was
is what they're
giving the money.
alleging. Well, I don't even know that he was trying to hide it so much, but he was using money that he just, quote, robbed idiots of,
Right.
and then wired that money through his brokerage and bank accounts to title companies. So I think there might be some wire fraud in there, but definitely money laundering. And so, I mean, that's just him alone. That is, as far as I know, they haven't charged anybody else with that. But, you know, I think it's the deception that they're going to lean into more than like the property aspect.
Right. You were trying to say something, Platinum?
I thought the whole dismissal was about them saying that they didn't like technically take money from these people specifically. Like there was no way to sort of track the money that was taken type
I'm
of thing.
glad you brought that up.
It was more about proving, like they failed to prove the intent to defraud, because I don't think there was any statutes on what intent, or at least intent wasn't defined specifically enough for what they were alleging.
Maybe sometime we'll go back through these
Which
transcripts.
is why they were waiting for this, because this sort of, I mean, the Supreme Court basically just lifted intent right out.
Yeah. Well, and maybe one of these times
Which I
we'll
think
have to
was
get back.
probably surprising for them. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll have to get back to one of our transcript reads, but like I was going through some of the old documents and the
all these
transcripts.
Zach Morris.
Yeah, this this was right before the dismissal, and like this is some of the clear stuff that they were arguing right before the judge at that time. But we need that battle. We can't just have it over money and property. It doesn't matter that they obtained money and property. It has to come from the victim.
Right.
And they go on to argue in front of the judge. There's no evidence that in these 330 exhibits and there's nothing alleged in the indictment that Zach Morris ever took $1 from anybody. So it seems like a futile endeavor, but we do understand dismissal is the right remedy here. And
but the money did, I mean, like it did come from the victims, right? And that's kind of
obviously.
Right. It came from
but there was no way to track it.
Right. It's not like the old school, like boiler rooms where they're calling you up and I'm like, hey, Amy, I know a hot stock that's going up and I've got insider information about it. If you've got to buy now or it'll be too late. There's no old school, like that's not how it's done on the internet. How you do it on the internet is you get a YouTube channel, you get a Twitter account, and you get suckers to come into your Discord channel, and then you start pumping them full of bullshit in your Discord channel about when you're buying and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And it's the same method. It's just you're able to get schmucks in the aggregate. But like that's the argument that they're making. I can understand also why his defense is making this argument, because unless you can make a specific, like, say, remember when we were talking about the SEC things about when you're considered someone who is, giving investment advice, you have to be giving it for money and it has to be specified to that person. So
I wonder if there would be something like a victim impact. Like I know a ton of people who were in that Discord who are, were like, I lost so much money in these. So like, I wonder if there's like a way to say, here's your victim, and here's how much money they lost.
Yeah, but that's not really, I think, what the courts are looking for, or at least right now we're looking for. Who knows if this goes up to the Supreme Court or what the Fifth Circuit rules yet, because, now that the stay is lifted, they're going to start looking at that, because it's kind of like that old school theory of, we need to protect First Amendment rights as someone who's just saying stuff on the internet, just saying their opinion and not necessarily disclosing what they're doing in the background.
And don't forget that they had, and surely they have like all of Zach Morris's Twitter posts where he's like saying "fuck you" to the SEC, and all of his like blatant I don't even know what you call it, but you know, and then like everything that's happened since then, right? Like that's up for grabs now. Like they can bring that in. You know, these guys came on and, you know, listen to what they did to us. It's been so terrible, but now you can join our Discord for $100 a month.
Right. They've gone right back to doing what they used to do.
Well, you can join the Discord for free.
Well, I mean, and Zach
Use
Morris
your money for free, guys.
He's pumped and dumped several meme coins. He was just pumping his stock the other day. The Florida man called it out. Like, so I mean, they've gone right back to it. Like, and I think all of that becomes admissible at this point.
Right. And I also think, you know, the question really now is it going to be criminal or is it going to be civil? Because I think we talked about last week that, well, I'm saying that, like, if it's criminal, the civil, like, is still there to get money back for the victims, but it's kind of, you can have one without the other. I still
what is it? The criminal is like 114 million, right? And the SEC, wasn't the SEC like 100 million?
I'm not so sure about that, but
I can't remember what it was.
I have one of them.
I think the criminal, they're trying to get 114 million back.
So 114 for the DOJ, yeah.
I thought the SEC was also $100 million, but I could absolutely be wrong.
Do not have that open in a tab at this moment.
But as I was saying, like, you know, we know that the Andrew Left prosecution on the civil side has gone forward. So I still like not to like downplay this whole criminal side thing, but like I'm pretty sure he's getting fucked by one of these two horses. You would prefer to be the criminal one because like his intent is so obvious. He spelled it out for everyone in those private DMs, and you know, by his attitude and how he's act publicly about how he's playing the whole Dubrow thing of, you know, can't stop me now. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty blatant, and I don't know why anyone would go back to listening to him after that when like their whole scam was exposed.
Well, if you know what it is and they're pumping it, like,
yeah,
you always ride the wave.
I mean, I'm sure
no one to sell.
Plenty of them, yeah. They, you know, like if when they announce it, you better start selling, or like, you know, pretty quickly buy a lot and start selling it, or just fade it.
Like, just know it's a pump and dump, right? And just
I mean, or just fade it. Just take the short side of every single one they call out.
Or that, exactly.
Yeah. Just wait for it to get and start to the momentum to start peter out, and then just start shorting. Or puts, if you prefer the safer route.
Yeah.
We also, like, I found this one website. Apparently, the law firm of the ones that are defending Zach Morris, the law firm defending him. So we got a pretty good idea of the basically bullet points of what they're going to be defending with. That there was no transaction or no direct transaction or bargain, lack of intentionality towards a specific victim, which I think is going to be their big one. No obtaining of money or property by the defendant, which I don't get that, because Kousisis said that like the obtaining of money or property was flipping irrelevant. It was this taking of the property interest of the victim. The fact that you took their money is the property interest that was stolen.
So on that, and to what they'll say on that, right, is that he took money from these victims and then wired that money to purchase property. So it's the act of using ill-gotten gains to buy houses. He had 10 or 11 properties.
Yeah.
So he was that's like what, nobody needs 10 houses, right? Especially someone who's not like in real estate. I mean, he's a pumper. He's a self-proclaimed pumper. So like, why are you buying 10 houses? Like all within a pretty close range of each other. Like a lot of them were in Bentwater. I used to live like ridiculously close to him. But a lot of them were in Bentwater, which is on Lake Conroe. And I mean, as far as I know, he wasn't using them for like Airbnbs or anything like that. So, I mean, He was just stashing money in property.
Right. Just to have the money in an asset that would retain value.
Yeah, and I don't know how you make that all come. I don't know how they make all those puzzle pieces fit, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the two main arguments out of here that they're really going to make it, in the absence of materiality, there's no tweet that you could say is a material inducement, and there's a lack of direct correlation between the statements they made and an actual victim. He didn't literally, it wasn't like Zach Morris snuck into Amy's DMs and enticed her to buy stock, in our theoretical thing. There's no direct communication
about the coordination behind the scenes either. Like, I mean, they have a lot of their Discord communications. I'm sure they, in Discovery, especially the FBI, got quite a bit of their communications. So, like, we never really got to that point. So we don't really know what they have.
Yeah.
But it was
they have recorded Discord calls.
Right. And it was the FBI who arrested them. So, and the FBI has a much bigger reach into Discovery. So,
yeah. And I kind of wonder, like, those calls, like, how they got those on Discord. Those must have been kind of interesting.
They were doing them on open voice channels.
Right, but somebody had to record them. So, like, was the FBI in their Discord, or was there a whistleblower in their Discord?
It was open to the public.
No, I know.
So it was like an open server.
In the call to listen to it. You know,
it wasn't a private Discord.
Right, but who was recording it is the question. You know what I mean?
Somebody.
Like, is Platinum in the FBI listening to calls?
Oh,
we know you work for FINRA, so it wouldn't really be surprising.
Yeah. You're also part of that squad that works out of Fort Bragg, so we got to keep an eye on.
And I'm in the Teddy books. I am just world renowned. It's true.
You're in the Teddy books. Wait, what did I miss this? Like,
what?
Like, anything's possible, right? Like, if you just have a wide open server on Discord,
it's classified information. So I'll show you later.
Oh my goodness. Here, one second. I'm having to go back and sort of fix things as best I can in the middle of the live stream, because apparently I did an update check on it and it deleted all of my description and my tags off of YouTube. Thank you very much, Restream. You're a gem. I love you so much.
Good morning.
Got Jake hanging out.
Hey, Jake. Awesome. Even though you didn't say hi to me, that's okay. Hey, Jake.
But I think another point of this that, here, as Amy and Platt were saying, I mean, they're right back there, hooking up with people in DMs, talking about crypto. Oh, excuse me.
Well, let's see. Is this real? Like, is that really his account?
No, this isn't his. Well, I don't know, but someone posted it as if it was.
Yeah, that's a DM with Zach.
I know, but is it really him, or is it like a scammer?
Sure it is.
A different scammer?
Yeah, because we've gotten hosed by that a couple times.
Could it be a different scammer that's trying to impersonate the scammer?
It's hard to tell, because once you get good at scamming people, then scammers create bot accounts to pretend to be you. It's great.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. But like the other thing that's kind of important about this, let me see if I can get back to archive today, because this article went from when I had it open last, it was working fine on Bloomberg, and then they decided, nope, actually, we're not going to let you see that. Okay.
I think what's going to be, oh, look, there's South said hi, Platt. See, look, you got one too.
Yeah.
I think what's going to be like super interesting about the Atlas case is that it's going to set precedent,
right? Like what I was getting ready to pull up here with the Andrew Left thing is they're still waiting on the motion to dismiss for his criminal side, and much like the Atlas Trading Bros, the only thing that they're charging with the materiality for Andrew Left is the same thing. He tweeted a bunch of stuff, and then he seconds to hours later, on the short end of the interval, was changing his position as the tweet went out. It's literally the same MO.
Yeah, and I think it, for that argument, like if If these people didn't have hundreds and thousands of Zach Morris has 500,000 followers, right? And then like when you add up all of the followers between all of the Atlas guys, it's well over 1 million followers between them all, right? Like, so, I mean, if somebody had 6 followers and they were like, you know, they didn't have any reach, and I don't even know how many Andrew Left has. I'm sure a ton. But I mean, I think it's just more than just like, oh, they tweeted out some stocks. Like it's there's a couple of different ways to build intent, and you know, really all you have to prove is that they knew what they were doing.
Right. And that's the big thing that they're trying to go with here, and a lot of the pushback from not just like, you know, like I said before, not just from like Andrew Left's defense, probably not just from the defense that we talked about with from the Atlas bros, but like the traditional defense. I mean, the traditional way that it's been structured for a lot of these securities fraud cases is the direct connection. I can directly connect the communication between Amy and the boiler room that called her in the pump and dump. Whereas here, it's a little bit, you know, the correlation between fraudster and the person defrauded is a lot more nebulous. And it brings a, where's the line as far as, you know, First Amendment speech and, you know, actual crime. I think here it's really obvious. They were laughing about stealing people's money in a private Discord chat, but you know, whatever. I think that's really the like.
Because, I mean, I think it's pretty compelling evidence when you say it yourself.
Yeah. And yeah, and that's the big thing that I kind of wanted to bring up mostly is that, you know, I've seen a lot of, and I don't get it. These people who are like the meme stock in the meme stop community were cheering along for
John Savvy
like
was.
Zach Morris, and that was crazy to me.
Because they thought it protected them too. Okay. People like that Jana chick who
it has nothing to do with actual like stock, like.
Yeah, I mean, like that Jana chick who tweeted out that the MMTLP dividend was between $40 and $145, or
which is a material misstatement.
$140
would be actually like
saying it's going to be volatile. Don't get scared.
Like,
don't sell your shares for cheap.
Like, that's the one thing that I thought that if Zach Morris was being clever, that's different from the Atlas. Different between Atlas Trading and Andrew Left, is that, you know, most of, or at least the ones that have been of his tweets or messages that have been used in the complaint or have been produced in the case were mostly like, we're going to get the shorts. I think this is going to have a run. There's all this. It was very, very, it was not often that he said anything specifically material about the company, which is your traditional sort of pump and dump thing. You're talking, you're pretending to be an insider or have inside information, or talking about something material about the company. Whereas I think a lot of these pumpers from, like, say, especially the MMTLP community, where you're making material misstatements, or you're like Junk Savvy and co talking about, oh, we have connections with McCabe and all the insiders at at the company and everything.
Sure, and
that is your traditional pump and dump.
the two insiders.
Well, and it wasn't even like what the actual CEO said. I mean, George Palcara said $1 to $20. Yeah. Jana, it's just like the other guy who said that like Exxon was going to come in for $19 billion, and Jana's saying $40 to $145. And like, this was the day before the stock halted, after the value was pulled from it, right? Like, she's like, basically like, PSA, tomorrow's going to be volatile. Don't let them scare you out of your shares.
We're going to be selling. Don't be worried.
Yeah, don't let them scare you and, you know, cheat you out of your $40 to $145 dividend. And like people who have like 1,000 shares and they think they're going to get $145 in a dividend. Oh, and she called it a tax-free event.
What? No,
That's not what the
any
company
capital gain is going to be taxed.
I have the tweet. Like I can show
It wasn't
you.
capital gain for most
Non-tax
people.
event. She said
It was the capital loss, but still the company said it
$40
was
to $145 non-tax event.
oof.
That's
Yeah,
what she
I
called
saw
it.
that. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Hi, South.
why are you like? Why would they even say that when even in the S1 they weren't even sure what the tax treatment was going to be? They were like, "Well, this has never been done before," so.
And a lot of them that had it in their IRAs that like at Fidelity, like Fidelity had a Reddit page that was updating them on it, where they spelled out the entire tax liability of this. So a lot of them not only took a loss, then they got hit with a tax bill for a ton of money because as Fidelity laid out, and we can go to the Reddit page and look it up, but Fidelity told them that because of tax law, and it was actually in the S1, NextBridge's S1, right? Like that make sure that you understand the tax liability of this. It was laid out there. And now Junk Savvy is accusing Fidelity of tax and wire fraud. Because exactly what they told them was going to happen happened. Yeah. And they got fat fucking tax bills.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no.
So they just get like, it's just like BBBY and then buying the bonds, right? Like, I don't know why, like, people cannot read and stop going back to the fruit of the poisonous tree. Like, what's happening?
I guess the best way to describe it would be what was it? It's a term that I've heard from a lot of financial people across social media. Financial nihilism. Well, I'm never going to have enough money to retire. I'm never going to have enough money to be comfortable, working in the job in this current, post-modern society. So I might as well just gamble it all away and hope I get rich.
So crazy.
Yeah. But let me see here. Platinum, if you're there, give me a shout. There, right back. Great yes, timing, because guess what we are going to talk about next?
Oh boy!
So I did say that this was the show is called Legal Thunderdome, and so we've got a bunch of lawsuits lined up, and so we're not going to be in the traditional big news event, meme stock craziness, real boy news, or any organization of there too. It's going to be straight to basically, well, I mean, there's going to be some meme stock stuff like this, but it's all just lawsuit.
Is this the former CEO in Quantum?
No, well, see,
when I saw there was like another case against him. So yeah,
and
there's so many lawsuits in that company. Like, what is up with that company?
So if you're looking at this screen like I was when Platinum first sent me this, and is wondering what the heck is FSD Biosciences. I haven't heard of anyone promoting that.
Oh, you didn't know that they did the name change when they did the reverse split? Yeah.
Yeah, we go to Quantum BioSciences, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find that the first whoops, that's the wrong one. I must have moved it around, but like the first did I grab the wrong? I'll pull that tab over here. But yeah, anyway, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom on this and grab the first document, you will get FSD Biosciences because
well, if you just go to their last annual report, that's where I saw that lawsuit in the first place.
Like here,
or just look for the reverse split because they did the name change and the reverse split at the same time.
Yeah, so like it was like I'm pretty sure one of you guys told me there was a name change at some point, but like when I first got it, I was just like,
yeah, FSD BioPharma. Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give us a little bit of a primer since this is your
is this Unbuzzed?
Yes.
So why don't you give us the intro on what this is about, Platinum? And then we'll get right in.
So okay, FSD Biosciences is now Quantum BioPharma, and they have their Unbuzzed, right, which I drank here on the show for DD.
Once you do not drink it.
Audience, what
she
was
drank
it.
I'll never do it
We
again.
were all very worried. I got zero sleep that night, worried about her. Her heart rate was like 200.
Well, it was like 200 milligrams of caffeine, which I did not realize until after I was done drinking it at like 12 a.m.
We were like on here. We weren't live. We were off the live, just talking in the.
No, we
like,
were
backstage.
live though, and I was drinking it the whole time.
Oh, I know that, but we went backstage and we were like, my heart, like, is being
Yeah, I was
really
dying.
fast, and I'm like,
literally dying. Like the next morning, getting donuts, I was like, ugh. So anyways,
never do that much caffeine.
I was the most worried. Everybody else wanted to see what happened. I was like,
I know.
legitimately
She's
worried.
like, I told you not to drink it.
Like that seems like that's the baseline product that shoves you through it all. Is they give you so much caffeine, like, but that I feel would like just make the hangover worse. Because I've drank caffeine to try and get me through a cold. Do not recommend. Do not recommend.
Well, and like I don't know what the science is behind it, but like I mean, who didn't? But like I used to drink Red Bull vodkas, right? And like there's this place here that like they did like it was they called them Long Island iced teas, but it was like Red Bull vodka, like iced teas in like these big cups, and like the hangovers are brutal.
Way worse.
B, your heart doesn't stop beating for like 48 hours. Like it's just like it's really
why
not
they banned a lot of those like mixed like Four Loko.
It's really not a great time.
Yeah. So I drank some for science, and you know the weird thing is that they have like a 25% royalty on this drink, but yet they still have $0 in revenue. So maybe next quarter we'll see my purchase in there.
Right? Like it was super expensive, wasn't it?
Nah, I don't think so. I forgot.
I thought you said it was like a little expensive.
Well, it came with 3 packages. I still have 2 packages left. I honestly cannot
I'll have to send one to me to
no,
to
they need to stay there.
Oh, if you want it, yeah, I'll totally send it to you if you want.
Okay, so you can just like drink your AMC butterfat and Unbuzzed.
Oh yeah, we'll make a trade. Yeah. Send me some of that popcorn. We'll make a trade.
I'll never do it.
So, anyways,
science.
This GBB drink lab was suing the Quantum BioPharma, trying to say that they ripped them off basically for their Unbuzzed drink.
Why are they still listed under FSD? Is this recent? Yeah, this is May.
Well, I think
when did they file
that when they filed it.
Looks like May 19th.
Of this year.
Wrong way around.
No, that's
May 1st, 2023.
Okay.
Sorry, I had it in the traditional platinum mode of descending.
Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah. Because that's how I linked it
with the company, right?
Yeah.
Well, because I also bought the last thing too. That's why. Like I bought the they were supposed to do a there you are, a mediation, and then.
Well, before we get to the mediation, I just want to briefly cover. So
you can also see where it was denied. That got.
What?
Like the motion to dismiss was denied? No.
I did that. So basically, like Platinum said, they had been basically asking for damages because they are saying that they were in a working agreement where, hey, you can use our formula.
They had an NDA.
Yeah. And they just, ended up just making.
They let them like borrow it or test it out? Like what?
No, I think the ex-CEO, like if you read more, because then they ended up adding him as a third party defendant too.
Yes,
but isn't the current CEO like suing the ex-CEO?
Well, the current CEO blocked me on Twitter, so that was rude.
I mean, it was so weird because like so many of y'all were all replying, I think, on that post that I tweeted him on, but I didn't get blocked.
He's a big softy. You call him out on anything and it's blocked.
See, but I said like I told him there was a flaw in his lawsuit, and I did not get blocked. I might be blocked now, but I wasn't.
Well,
I don't keep an eye on it.
Me and Oslo were just asking about a deal that he had in one of his last financial reports where he said that if they were to win the lawsuits, they were going to give a percentage to a third party. And so
the Sports Coat LLC.
Yeah, exactly. So Oslo was just asking who's in charge of this LLC and what's the percent? And I was like, oh, those are great questions. And I tagged him and I was like, oh, would you be transparent and answer them? Like that was it. And then we both got blocked.
You got blocked.
Yeah.
but
Nobody
we found
talks
out
about Sports
more
Code
sort of.
LLC, okay?
Rude.
I went and dug a little bit further and found kind of the source of this whole thing. Apparently, originally FSD was going to buy out GBB. Like they, like,
Oh.
yeah. If you go to their, so first
What, they pull out?
filed their amended complaint, and then the motion to dismiss was denied. And in their answers, they filed a counterclaim against GBB, basically accusing them of, what was it, breach of contract? I think. No, not breach of contract, because there was no
Well, they like
contract.
went against the NDA.
Yeah, breach of fiduciary duty and breach of fiduciary duty. So basically, what they were saying is, "Hey, we were going to purchase you, and then when that whole deal dissolved, and we ended up that we weren't going to purchase you, you decided to sue us in retaliation." Is basically their argument, and so we're going to sue you back for breach of fiduciary duty. And so you get a little bit more insight into this, like, they stole our formula. Well, we were going to go into a partnership and we were going to acquire you. And it's all sorts of mud slinging back and forth. But we'll go, now that we got a little bit of that background, we'll flip back here and we're right at the right time. So you can take back over Platinum.
Yeah, so that was not too long ago. It was this month. If you want to click on that, basically they were just going to do a mediation. And it looks like, oh no, this is not it.
I thought I had the mediation up, so I went to click to the end of it, but apparently not.
That's all. Basically, no agreement was made.
Yeah, no agreement was reached, so we're going to Discovery, my dudes.
To be continued. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. It's fun how all these sort of shitco companies have all this litigation that just hangs over them like a dark cloud.
Yeah,
because we got this. I don't think I checked to see if their Wes Christian Attack the Naked Shorts spoofing bullshit case was going anywhere, that they were having Kevin Malone pimp.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, he was talking about that the other day.
Well, why don't you give us a little bit of a heads up on that during, you listened to the AMA, so there's nothing going on with the case right now other than he was just pimping it.
Yeah, he was just talking about it, the case with Wes. That's it. I have no idea what's going on with it.
Yeah, I didn't see any recent updates. I mean, these cases, even the spoofing ones, they move it like molasses. Like the NWBO has been going on for 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's still going. And then there's the Mullen case from 2 years ago that's not moved anywhere fast.
Yeah.
So these companies could be dead before we even reach a
conclusion.
Oh my God.
Actually, you know what's going to happen is the trustee for each one of these, once they're in bankruptcy, are going to have to hire Wes Christian again.
Just like
metamaterials. By the way, I think that they were, Mullen was, I think it was more of hey, don't worry that we don't have any money and we don't make any money because we're getting $700 million from a lawsuit.
No, he doesn't say that they don't. No. He doesn't say that they don't make money or they don't have any money.
No, I didn't say he said that. I'm saying that I think it was being used as, hey, don't look at our financials. It's going to show you that we don't make shit.
Right.
But don't worry, we're getting $700 million from a lawsuit.
We're suing people. Speaking of that, I did see in the metamaterials bankruptcy that they brought on another law firm to help Wes Christian. So more money to extract from the estate to other people.
That's not a law firm to help Wes Christian. They are litigators and I think they're gearing up for adversarial cases. One being that we know of that Wes Christian used himself from Greg McCabe because they were looking at him
getting that money back.
So I think they're bringing
in the filing
of litigators
that they were bringing him on.
Real quick to update about the Quantum BioPharma Wes Christian, they actually filed an amended complaint on May 1st. So now we have to wait for the motion to dismiss on the amended complaint.
The new one. Yeah, so that's where we're at on that. Let me pull it up here real quick because I could have sworn it said in there trustee verified declaration. Ex parte. Oh, here we are. Before we get to the one that I was really going to go to do. Oh, whoops! I accidentally killed the. Oh, that's okay. We can bring this back up. So, yeah, ex parte firm to employ the law firm Schneider Wallace. Yeah, whatever. These people. And then there was another filing here. Here we are. Ex parte application to employ the law firm. So that was the that was the to bring them in, and then this is the actual. So that was the ex parte motion. This is the actual like.
See, there's special litigation counsel. See that at the top?
Yeah, to investigate potential. Okay, so see here. This is the part that threw me off. Right here. Meritorious pursue litigation to suspend stock manipulation.
Oh, they're going to join with them.
Yeah. For naked short selling and spoofing.
Like the litigators are doing that?
Yeah, that's this part I highlighted here.
Have they worked together before, these people?
I don't know. That's
related to suspected stock manipulation.
Who is this?
And go look them up. Go run and do the DD I didn't do, Platinum.
Look, I didn't do any DD either. I just saw litigators and thought she was going to start adversarial cases, but
no.
Yeah, lead counsel on the securities matters, Christian Adher, believes it to be in the best interest of the Meta estate to engage the firm. They must be bunk buddies because this was at the recommendation of Wes.
Oh, yeah.
Is this to further his I don't have a conflict of interest claim?
That's a lot of money from the estate, or I don't know who's paying for this. Oh, same contingency basis. All right, then never mind.
That's coming from the 11 million?
Must be.
Yeah. To the best of trustees' knowledge, the firm
I'll allow it.
Represent any interest adversary to the estate.
I'll allow this.
So there you go.
Ask it differently.
So there you go. Your update on metamaterials, because there isn't a whole
Seems weird that
lot
Wes would do that, considering that he stands to benefit the most from that $11 million.
Yeah.
Well,
unless it's 11 million and 11 million, but I doubt that very much.
No.
Yeah. But I suppose considering like he's got a lot of business coming in as of late from some of these companies, he thinks, I can share on this case. I only have got the biopharma one, and isn't he still part of the Northwest Biopharmaceuticals? And I've also got the Mullen case, and he's ringing it up as of recently because all these shitco companies are collapsing.
One finger. Does he have a finger?
One finger. I mean, they've already tried to sue people who were putting out short reports against him. Why not?
Oh,
Why not?
God, right.
Finger did?
Why not?
Yeah, they tried to sue Capybara.
Yeah.
For that short report, and then they didn't want to pay the $12,000.
Company, it was part of the three company group that joined up with Midwit Mark to sue Capybara. It was them, Nightscope, and Shot. The other company
of these companies,
the other company that purports to have a formula to keep you from getting a hangover.
What part of the stock market do you have to hang out in? Like, I've never heard of any of these companies.
Yes, you have.
Only finger. What did you call it? Shot and what?
Shot and Nightscope. They're the one that makes the robot that patrols around and pretends to be a police officer. That's literally what it does.
What?
It's literally a robot that tries to do police work. It's kind of hilarious. Like not
does it like call 911
work, but like patrols areas and tries to apprehend criminals.
That's so funny.
It's funny as it sounds.
Hilarious, actually.
So,
I mean, if it has like a camera and stuff, it probably like does a better job than most of the cops out there. So, has no biases.
Part of the short report that Capybara did, it had some, shall we call it, in the gaming world, pathfinding issues.
Okay. Can you tell me what that means?
It's when the AI can't figure out obstacles, so it just keeps running into them. It's kind of like what a Roomba does, except the Roomba at least knows to go around shit after a while. Anyway, so next up on our lawsuit list isn't exactly a lawsuit so much as charges being dropped. Oh, it's good friends of the show, Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Friends of the
21
show.
charges in the UK for sexual
I'll
trafficking.
tell you, that's a whole lot worse than
Okay.
Romania, but
Yeah,
Why can't they just get jackets that fit?
It's
just so
pants and
why? I mean,
jackets.
why do they look like Mr. Rogers in Miami Vice? Like,
Mr. Rogers in Miami Vice, the crossover I never knew I wanted.
They look like they're wearing like women's suits. It's just not
remember
good.
that episode of The Office?
I think that'd be more cutting than any
Oh my
insult
God,
ever
yes.
delivered to them. These
when he was
models
wearing a
are being
woman's
called
suit. Why are you wearing a
women.
woman's suit?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like why are you in
It
Hillary
had like
Clinton's
pink satin on the
closet?
inside.
What is going on?
Platinum called. She wants her closet back. So their big thing that they've been saying as of recently is that, oh my God, these are all charges from back in 2012 to 2015. Burr. They dug these up out of nowhere. Well, I hate to tell you, Slick, but there is no statute of limitations.
I mean, they said it themselves.
UK,
Like,
saying it's all right
this
here.
is the same thing like what I was saying about Zach Morris, right? Like you tell on yourself.
You brag on the internet that you've been doing crime. Surprise, you get charged with crime.
Like, don't stop telling on yourself.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's like stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
I was watching this interesting thing on Platt on EDB when she was talking about group chats, and she was talking about how and she was talking about how they're trying to pull in all of those people from the group chat, the Proctor group chat, and like everyone in the group chat is liable basically, and everyone can be pulled in. And she was like, if you get in a situation like that, you get a lawyer.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Anytime you get
for
questioned
what
by
anybody
anything that has
says,
to do
right?
with
Like
any lawsuit, you want to get a lawyer no matter what.
well,
Like,
yeah. But she's saying like if something like that happens, like like you're in a group chat and somebody like Proctor's the only one who really did anything bad in there, but now they're all open to it.
Right.
Because they all participated.
Yeah.
It's like
never self snitch. Always
I get
get a
added to like group chats all the time, so I'm like, we'll leave group.
Oh yeah, right. No kidding. Actually, now that I think of it,
I think I'm
After
only
a
in like
Discord group chat, make sure to leave because
I think I'm only in like 2 now, and one of them's with you at Platt, so we're gonna go down together.
oh dear. All right.
Oh, one of the
if we're
things-
going, we're going together, sis.
One of the other things is on the civil side, because they also have a civil case in the UK that is now scheduled to, it looks like, go to trial on February 2027. The Wheels of Justice Day be moving. So 4 women seeking damages for alleged rape. Some of that stuff is like,
Do they still wear
really-
the powdered wigs in the UK? I mean, I know they did.
Yes.
And like
the lawyers have to wear them too. It's not just the judges.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun.
yeah.
That's what's
I remember.
really
I think they did in Romania too, right? And then I remember watching the
Canada does the same thing.
no, the girl in Italy. She was American and with her roommate. Oh my God, what's her name? Amanda Knox. That like I was watching hers and they were like showing her trial and they were like all in powdered wigs. That's the first time I'd ever seen it, and I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah, European courts are amazing because they keep all the old traditions. Like, if you're a lawyer, you just have to show up in a suit and tie here in the United States and some slacks and everything. Nah, the lawyers also have a set of robes and the wig and everything. And it's
Can you imagine Hank and AJ in a powdered wig? Instead, we get Hank in like 3-piece suits and Louis Vuittons
and like
looking like a
weird socks.
law boss.
Oh yeah, like a mob boss defendant.
Our next part of the Andrew Tate experience is why do people continue to defend these people? And
Andrew Tate, choose your own adventure.
More importantly,
Where are
why
you at on the
women
allegations?
keep
if you don't want to go into
defending?
detail?
Why do women keep defending this loser?
Don't
That's a
know.
good question.
It is a good question, and I don't know.
Like,
There's
I'll
no
let her run-
like logical answer for it. So like, why even try?
Like, I'll let her run her question here because it's insane.
Till I'd understand. But I know, I mean, read through them. I saw everybody that spoke out.
Yep.
I even saw the people that were part of the allegations, the women that supposedly were the victims, saying, please don't put me in this. I am not a victim.
Yep.
I've watched all of it. So I'm quite shocked that this is happening to you.
Yep.
And I'm sorry. I think that sucks. But it does happen to people of your status.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we
So
don't.
What
do you feel
status?
like all
Like-
the false allegations?
Did you not
What
see all the
status?
people on Discord? He has a bunch of Twitter followers. I don't know.
Well, we know Pulte sure liked him.
That live stream's at the end of this upcoming month. But yeah, we do have the book. Thanks
Keep
for the
pushing it.
thanks for the chance to prop up. It is the Spider
Oh.
Network, the wild story of a math genius, a gang of backstabbing bankers, and one of the greatest scams in financial history.
I think I've talked the guest into coming and talking about LIBOR. So
LIBOR. Good.
Yes, that's I think is great because I get it. When you do a book, you want to get like a person that you can follow narratively rather than the big like emulgus thing. But I wanted to know about the like whole LIBOR scandal period, and they focused on one individual. And yeah, they occasionally break off for certain parts of it, but it's like it would be nice to have someone who can talk about the whole thing.
yeah, he can.
So, then one last thing to finish with, because like while we're here, let's just shoot some ducks along the side of the road. Apparently, we have this this vitamin megadosing scam that the Tate
Jeez.
brothers.
Is this
have been-
Unbuzzed? What's happening?
No, it isn't. That would be great mark. Well, that wouldn't be great marketing. Maybe it would be. It
actually would be.
demographic that buy the stock.
Exactly.
But here, this is the weirdest. What even is?
Wait, who's that guy?
That's the guy who's selling the product. They're just here to promote it. This is the guy who actually.
What is it? Like a powder?
Yeah, it's a mega.
Ew.
It's a mega vitamin powder. Like,
Wait,
vitamin mega dosing, where you take a bunch of extra vitamins that your body doesn't need because it supposedly prevents disease.
Oh,
and
it's
makes you feel better.
disgusting. You can already tell.
I think it already. Did you see the look on his face? Let's go.
It's so good.
What are we looking at? Sorry.
Great selling look. This like face of.
Yeah.
Did you take it?
Yes.
Are you not supposed to mix it with water? Why? What? Huh?
Let's go back.
Like that's usually what you do with these like.
Yeah, rewind it so Amy can see that she missed
Sorry,
it.
I was looking.
Water.
I was looking at some
This is
girl
like-
that was giving
I
him
know.
a weird look.
We have
and
this
we're-
bored expression first of
Okay,
all.
look. So this looks like
watching.
it should go into water, right? Like it's a little
And they're
Is
just
this like a
powder.
pre-workout?
Like you mix it with water. No, it's like vitamins or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so then
And
he's
then he
gonna
seals
take
it back
some
up,
too.
even though Tate
Yeah, that's
is about to come over here and.
watch. He can't even hide the fact that it's absolutely disgusting.
he flips him off.
Did he
at
just
this
get okay?
point.
I'm like, did he just give him the finger?
He flipped him off too. So the product apparently is called Fire Blood.
Is it their product? That sounds like something they would make.
But yeah, he kind of goes into like the whole vitamin megadosing. This is the actual but Fire Blood goes way beyond safety. So 1,000% of your dietary requirements for vitamin D, 714% for B6 and B2, 625% of vitamin C, 375% of vitamin E, and 333% of pantothenic acid. Yeah, but like just to be clear, vitamin megadosing has horrible side
You're just gonna
effects.
pee it out.
you're gonna
yeah,
pee
your
it
body
out,
only
and
absorbs what it
potentially-
needs, and then you just piss out the rest. Like,
but you can overdose to the point where it does actual damage. So, like you said here, most of these are flat soluble, and like you guys said, they piss them out. But like, if you get too much vitamin D, you can do actual real kidney damage and calcium overload. Too much A, you can get liver toxicity and bone loss. So, like, do yourself a solid and don't spend $62 on this. Oh my goodness.
well, I'm like, what are you eating? Like, you're not getting any of these nutrients from food? Like,
yeah, that's the only reason you should ever need to supplement is if you're not getting enough in your daily diet to begin with.
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, I have like an avocado on my counter. Like, it's got lots of.
I mean, I take a multivitamin.
I don't get this whole thing.
Yeah, and that's within reasonable realms of like, your allotment for the day. If you're not getting enough of something,
well, even in a multivitamin, you're still just your body's just gonna.
Yeah, you're gonna piss it out, right?
Yeah.
But whatever, I still do it. But I'm definitely not gonna like powder. Ugh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like what they take before they go in what's it called? I keep forgetting, the war room. What's it called?
The what now?
What's their room called in their Discord?
Oh, the war room.
Oh, the war room.
This
is the worm.
They take their fire blood in the war room.
Right? Is that where you is that the one where you pay like the $7,000 or whatever?
They only do it over voice chat with the FBI listening.
Exactly.
Like,
if you think that the FBI can't like pose as some Discord user and pay,
I mean, they obviously are.
Yeah.
So our next
Not
lawsuit, we're
shocking.
moving. In our next lawsuit, we're moving from crazy bros,
Lawsuit bonanza.
racists and rapists. We're moving on to everyone's favorite Sobsid, Ethan Leibovitz. How are you guys doing? He was really.
Is he really everyone's favorite?
Oh, great! Now he's sorry,
gonna show up
Sal.
in the chat.
AMC zone's gonna light up tonight. Sorry, buddy.
Too bad I already have him blocked. So it's really hilarious because he was spurring out when I was pointing all this out. So he recently had his motion for sanctions the second time to get everyone up to speed from our last discussion of him. He had his motion for sanctions denied, and the court suggested that maybe he should get to the business of his fucking lawsuit and stop wasting the court's time. And so a week went by, and then about half of this week went by. I figured, well, maybe he's actually taken the hint. Amy, do you think he took the hint?
Not a chance.
Platinum, did he take a hint?
There's
No, he
absolutely
didn't take it. Of course he did.
No.
So since this is a magistrate judge, you can go up to the circuit court judge who oversees the magistrate. And so he was basically asking for re-argument to overturn the decision. It said he's asking for to grant his request for an evidentiary hearing in the material deficiencies and misrepresentations and refer this matter to the United States Department of Justice.
Oh my God.
Oh, it gets better. Let's get to the CCs.
Yeah.
It's like a Twitter post. Well, you big meanie manipulating the market. I'm going to tag the president, Pam Bondi, and the FBI director and a special agent I've been talking to.
Isn't he the one who like CC'd Gary Gensler in one of his?
No, that's his buddy. Remember when he was sending all the anti-Semitic tweets?
Yes. Okay.
This is like
It's quite the strategy.
Like the whole situation with Corey, where he's like, "Oh, I've got this FBI agent that I'm talking to that's gonna totally." Yeah, no, you don't, bro. Shut up. But it gets better if you can believe it. So we had a snap call from the judge overseeing, where he said. It says here, order denying at 89, Rule 72 appeal. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure requires a district judge to modify or set aside any part of the magistrate judge's order that is clearly erroneous or is contrary to law. An order is clearly erroneous if based on all the evidence a reviewing court is left with the definite and firm conviction that a mistake has been committed. In other words, you need to be really sure. That sounds very stringent as to what the standard is, and is contrary to law when it fails to apply or misapplies relevant statutes, case law, or rules of procedure. A Rule 72A appeal is subject to a highly deferential standard of review. No kidding. Imposing a heavy burden on the objecting party. The plaintiff asked the court to revise the portion of the Magistrate Judge Bloom's May 15th order. The plaintiff's motion for sanctions was not dispositive. In any event, it was also well within Judge Bloom's discretion to deny plaintiff's proffered evidence. Does not establish that Mr. Berg made any misrepresentations to the court. Yeah, see, this is the thing that people keep forgetting when there are appealing judges' rulings, that it's under the discretion standard, which means you need to prove that there was like such a mischaracterization or misunderstanding of the law that any plain normal Joe could go, that was a dumb decision. That's how much broad discretion judges have when ruling on your silly motions. So naturally, after a second try, do you think Ethan took the hint?
No chance. Absolutely.
Of course not, because he filed for his interlocutory appeal afterwards.
Perfect.
The next day.
Oh,
Amazing.
Beautiful. Wow, look at that.
He's timely.
Yeah.
Timely
job
with
or...
something to do with, like, he feels very offended. But when it comes to, getting around to his amended complaint that the court had to tell the original amended complaint, where he said he was going to be amending his complaint and then got 3 extensions. And then after the third one, the court said, no more extensions. If you can't be bothered to stop circle jerking in your own case, then get your shit together. Which has been kind of this case in a nutshell for poor Ethan. It's funny how he can spend all this time harassing people over the phone and on the internet, but when it comes to actually doing things that might advance his case, suddenly he becomes very deficient about doing those things. Not to worry, but because again, 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time, Ethan will be going to let's call it a real life ban. Fingers crossed. Our next lawsuit. Oh yeah. And we actually got. I was talking earlier about how long it was taking for the Clear Markets lawsuit, the one against the spoofing charges, to move forward. We actually do have an update in that case. Not a big one. It's basically the scheduling order on discovery. In short, Wes isn't even on this case anymore, actually. I was about to say Wes was asking for it, but it's like, actually, he's not on this case anymore. So the plaintiffs were asking for them to go ahead and give them discovery on a certain time. Here's the timetable. Before identifying the supposed, John Doe or potential Jane Doe defendants. The actual spoofers that were using the brokerage firm to spoof Mullen, and the position was, from the defendants was basically, actually, it would probably be good that we, identify who the targets of this are, not only to, not waste the court's time, but, people's privacy just in general. And the court adopted that. So they have the, what is this? The discovery date of February 15th, 2026. So they're going to get, looks like a whole year to do discovery, to first try and identify these people, and then go into discovery further if necessary on those matters. I think I caught it that time. So there's going to be nothing going forward in this Mullen case for another year. So we don't need to worry about it or follow it at all. And probably likely with what's going on with Mullen, I don't think we'll be hearing much about this case, because the next thing we'll be hearing is a filing onto the docket of suggestion of bankruptcy. But, the Mullen saga, since we're done with their lawsuit, we can transition into just the Mullen stuff more generally. It seems
The next
like
reverse split or the one that's after that?
well, speaking of the reverse split, you're on the right footpath
The
there.
reverse split. Which one?
Reverse split number 8 is the next one on the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, it really is hard to keep track at this point. There's so many of them. So we talked about previously how not AMC Baggy Travis, but BBBYQ Baggy Travis was trying to get people to
Oh yeah.
to
How's
buy
that
their
going?
one share. You know what? We'll get to how that will probably be going because we have a new entrant into the land of very stupid ideas. You know, if we got one BBBYQ baggie, why not 2 BBBYQ baggies? Hey guys, did you know that it would cost only $1.3 million to buy 51% of Mullen?
Oh, that's it.
Only almost 2 million.
I mean, at least
It's not worth
Travis
that.
was saying to just buy one share, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Let's all go out and try and buy $2 million worth of the Mullen float to get and then we would be able to stop them from doing the next reverse split and not let them dilute anymore. Okay, first of all, I hate to break it to you, Michael. I know your brain doesn't operate like a normal human's and it struggles with basic facts, but Mullen has done the death spiral financing that you should be very familiar with if you're a Bed Bath & Beyond baggie. You know that death spiral financing that you were trying to deny until you saw
I
it.
think he's still not familiar with it, honestly.
And you guys went, oh, they were diluting us by that much? Fuck.
Oh yeah. I remember.
You remember that clip?
Mm-hmm.
So Mullen has no control over the dilution. They're contractually obligated to dilute the fuck out of you. Second, Missouri has supermajority. So even if you did get a majority of the common shares,
and he only owns like what, 1 or 2 shares?
Last year during that one back in December, he'll just overvote you. So again, you're double fucked. Can't stop the dilution. You can't stop the reverse split. So, well, I guess that idea is out the water. Oh, and of course, it's the FTDs again. Like, hey, Platinum, you're here. Well, I'm sure Amy knows the answer too when she gets back. What could be the reason that there are all these FTDs in Mullen as of recently?
The same reason that they dilute so fucking much.
Oh, there we go. It's the dilution. It's all those shares from the conversion of the
converts. Yeah,
of the convertibles.
Yeah, 100%.
It's dumping new shares that have to come out of the treasury, and until those get delivered.
Why does he have the word "any" capitalized though? Wait, and is he saying "are there"? Because he says there are any activists out there.
I don't know.
Wasn't he the one talking trash about his alleged
well, he's the goodest boy.
alternate account where he was saying, "Oh, what do I speak English as a second language?" I mean, ever since I say that,
clearly you do, my dude.
I don't know. I've been paying attention. I gotta say, I think it's a second language.
Have a semi-official account of how many shares there are in Mullen, and it's currently over 80 million.
Wow. When Travis came up with the idea to just buy one
10 million
share, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That was like
they have 8x the float in a month. 1 month, 8x the float.
Wow, that is super impressive, actually.
I know, right? This is a grift that is like impressive in its blatantness. It is just like right in your face. I'm fucking you. I'm fucking you. I'm fucking you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
By the way,
the only one making money is Missouri.
That Vert is leaving the NASDAQ.
Oh yeah, and that means that Apollo's buying them out, right?
Totally.
So they're going to the NYSE. Like,
are they going to get that Sharpe ratio down in the meantime?
And like you have much more sophisticated investors in the NYSE, and he's like tired of like all this fraudulent shit in the NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so are they going to change their ticker name?
No, same ticker name.
Yeah,
they're just they're voluntarily delisting from the NASDAQ.
Well, I thought once you were on the New York Stock Exchange, you had to have 3-letter ticker.
As far as I know,
that
the
really
ticker's not
narrows down how many people can be on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
And then NASDAQ was 4 letters. That's what I thought.
Something to do DD on for next show.
Google it.
You googly.
Platinum has broke the code. She's going to find out how this Vert transaction is really just a backdoor hidden purchase by
I'll
Apollo.
look it up. Oh wait, but did you see like the person who grokked it? Like in Grokk's answer, it says that Vert has a minority stake.
Grok to be accurate, but I still find it funny that their little magical box that they get to use for their like confirmation bias is telling them that actually it's Vert that owns a position in Apollo, not the other way around. Get your facts straight, bitch.
Right.
But,
and yeah, so no, you don't. The NASDAQ does not strictly require all ticker symbols to be 3 letters.
No, NASDAQ is 4.
I'm sorry, the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh, okay.
While many NYSE listed companies have 3-letter symbols, it allows for symbols with up to 6 characters, including the root and any suffix.
Nice. Look at that. DD done.
Done.
Confirmed.
But yeah, like, and I mean, besides that Apollo doesn't buy companies at a premium. They buy them at a discount.
The last time they bought something at a premium, it went bankrupt. We read that.
Was that the casino or?
Yes, that was Harris. We read that book.
They don't do that. They don't do that.
There's a reason they don't do that anymore.
They learned their lesson.
Well, and besides the fact that entire thing
that lesson. Ow!
That entire thing was literally made up in an Uber in New York City.
We can't even confirm that the audio is actually the raw audio.
It was clearly edited. Like, I mean, the whole thing, like the entire thing was a lie. Like, Pulte put out a press release and Bloomberg
I still don't know how he didn't get in trouble for that.
And Bloomberg ran it and it was a lie.
Golden age of fraud.
It was all a lie. Like,
which is really funny because they, you know.
But I mean, I think you can pay. Can't you like pay Bloomberg? He just paid for it, right? Like anytime that
like PR Newswire or something like that.
Yeah,
you paid that.
Paid for the PR Newswire, and that's why Bloomberg.
That's why it got picked up. Yeah, because you can just pay to run those articles yourself, which is what he did.
Yeah.
The news articles lately haven't been that great, and neither have his interviews.
Yeah, there's been a lot of critical panning of his interviews from what I've seen.
God, that interview with Karp.
Don
Jr. It was brutal.
Like when you say that interview, it's like difference. Which one?
So like everybody's like, are you going to privatize Fannie and Freddie? He doesn't know the difference between private, public, and publicly traded.
And Fannie and Freddie.
He doesn't know the difference. He doesn't know the difference. Yeah. Like even publicly traded companies, like they're all private. Right, like it's brutal. You should go watch the interview. It's brutal.
And what's great is
and I think someone even corrected him. Like they were like, "What? Wait," because they're talking about privatization, right? And like I think the person interviewing him was like, "I don't think that's right."
Yeah, and it's clear that he has like no clue that he was just literally put in there to be a Donald Trump mouthpiece, and. It was funny after those series of interviews that all of the people in that sphere were hastily running in circles, chasing their own tail, trying to make it like he's not retarded, guys. Trust me. He knows his stuff. He's not retarded. Trust us. Anyway,
it's funny to watch. I think they should do more interviews. I think somebody should interview him every single day.
Yeah. Because every single time he opens his mouth, it's bad news.
Yeah. I think like hopefully he can get himself lots of interviews.
Well, speaking of one of those interviews, you know, he was talking about leaning up Fannie and Freddie, which is a company that if you extract the preferred shareholders stealing all of the value out of the company and their profits, makes a lot of money anyway. Like the Fannie and Freddie, well, no, it's not the government. Like they're like these preferred shares. Well, I mean, some of it is the government. A lot of these,
the government owns the majority of the preferred shares.
But because they basically get interest payments. They're like dividends, but they're mostly in interest payments. But like,
well, they've heard now. Like, if you mean like from what they gave them in 2008, that's done and over with. They've just been sitting on buckets of dividends.
Yeah. And so like that's where all the cash flow is going from. They have to buy out some of those like preferreds, like the government or someone else, because that's where all the money from that is going for. But anyway, so like he was talking about leaning up, it's like the company operates just fine. So I don't get that one. And then have you been following any of the Palantir stuff, Amy, where, you know, all this big brother stuff where you basically have Palantir helping the government basically create a foot trail of everyone in America?
Well, I think Elon Musk brought in Palantir to a lot of the systems during Doge, and like the problem with Palantir
that's
is
why they went through all that data. Yeah.
Right. And I think that, you know, I mean, it's not a problem. I mean, it's actually a great moat for Palantirs. Like once they're in and integrated, like leaving them or you know, switching to something else is incredibly difficult, and it's designed that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, it's a great like coat of armor for them, but like, yeah, it's not easy.
It's a little terrifying.
It's not easy to move away from them.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that Pulte had brought up, that he was going to bring them into Fannie and Freddie to basically do AI and all that research stuff and background checks for Fannie and Freddie. So getting their talents.
He's got a real issue with the some of the folks that were working there. I mean, that one interview at Milken, he was like, you know, we found someone of Chinese background, someone of some other background. And I was like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. We just don't like, it was like, just put up a sign that says no foreigners are allowed. I mean, that's kind of what it felt like he was saying, but, which wouldn't be surprising at all from him.
Well, I mean, this is the guy who had to hide his ties with certain people because it became a little too uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess while we're talking about our last lawsuit, I think is while we're talking about about the Trump administration, there was the tariff lawsuits. That one's been kind of an interesting case to follow because there's a lot of nuance that's been going on with that.
And I feel like everything this is like the snip, snap, snip, snack. They're like, oh yeah, the federal court said no, and then the next day,
and then they went and immediately
somebody went above them, and now it's good. Now we can. I mean, he just raised tariffs on steel to 50% on last night.
Yeah, because he was
Friday,
getting ready to do the Nippon Steel the deal with the U.S.
I don't really want to talk about that at all.
Huh?
I don't really want to talk about that at all.
You don't?
Bro, I'll tell you that later.
Okay, because I was going to bring it up, but you know, if you don't want
to talk about it, yeah, I'm just it was a trade, but
it was a trade you're in, and then wasn't it originally that it got denied by the Biden administration, and now they're coming back and they're.
So what originally happened is that Cleveland Cliffs bid on them, and they lowballed them, and then Nippon came in, and like it was the deal, and. Goncalves from Cleveland Cliffs started lobbying Congress, and I mean,
to
it's like
try and muscle them back into the deal.
It's a whole thing, but like
awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that trade later.
Okay, that'll be a fun story for another time. Mm-hmm. Fun time. But the whole thing about this is like there's actually two currently lawsuits on it. There's one in the International Court of Trades, which is kind of like a specialty court for like tariffs and what it says on the wall, the international trade and stuff like that in and out of the United States. And then there's one in the DC Circuit Court. And so they both ruled against Trump. So and it kind of has this nuance. So like the one in the trade court is basically saying because there's this question of jurisdiction because of the law that Trump is using to basically try and do these tariffs, basically the emergency relief that like he can do things on an emergency basis, like all powers that are granted.
Right. He labeled it a national emergency, right?
Yeah. And then he's allowed to do these, like they're meant basically for like sanctions. So like say that
they did it during COVID too.
Yeah. So say like
to bring in like protective stuff.
Yeah. And they're meant to be temporary and things like that. And they're basically emergency powers of the president that the Congress has delegated to the president. So there's a lot of arguments about how long can it be? Can he even use it for tariffs and all this stuff?
Right.
So there was the jurisdiction issue. So the reason why I was filed in the DC court, because that one's making not only I think they're both making constitutional arguments that, Congress is the only one that has the right to do tariffs. But the one in the DC court is basically saying the DC court should have jurisdiction because while he has emergency powers to do like, emergency things for like sanctions, stuff like that, it's not allowed to do tariffs. The argument before the trade court is that he does have the permission to do this, but not in the way he did it. And so the DC court struck down, and also the trade court one struck down. But I think the one in the trade court was the one that got appealed. Let me double check here. The article. The Federal Appeals Court. Could as no. I love when articles are indefinite about what's going on. It's really great. The appellate court said its order. Oh, well, here we are. So this should tell us where it's being appealed from. Appealed from the United States Court. Okay, so this is the one that's being appealed from the international trade. So the international trade one was basically saying that Trump does have the power to do tariffs under the law, under this emergency powers that have been granted by Congress. But he's not, like, if he does them, they have to be, I guess, I don't know if it's accurate to what the court had used, but basically, for layman's terms, rationally related to the government interest. So like when the tariffs against Canada were about the fentanyl thing, well, then it has to be about, tariffs related to like the fentanyl trade. You can't just, or something rationally related to like drugs and all that stuff. You can't just, I'm going to throw a tariff on Canada because of fentanyl and we're going to tariff everything. And it was basically stuff like that where like, or about the duration or how long, or if the current like trade situation, like the trade deficit stuff that was the basis for the Liberation Day tariffs, is that an emergency? And the court ruled that it wasn't an emergency because trade deficits have been a thing for a long time in the United States, and to call it an emergency that requires the president's emergency powers is kind of sus and questionable. But that's basically what's going on there with those, and that kind of wraps up our lawsuit end of this, unless any of you guys had anything to add substantively about any of the tariff stuff, I guess, while we're here. Apparently, let me see. One quick thing on the tariff stuff. Apparently, as the trade deals are breaking down, Congress is trying to pass a bill to get in on all this tariff stuff, and they want to tariff anyone trading in Russian oil, which would be stuff like China, 500%. That's going to be really awkward if that bill passes, because the way they've been talking, they have a supermajority enough to overrule a presidential veto. So nothing like throwing a wrench in potentially if, like, say, Trump was trying to get some sort of deal on the tariffs he's already implied, and then here comes in Congress with a bazooka and blows everything up with a 500% tariff because China is trading for Russian oil. Amazing. Nothing like working at cross purposes.
It's so crazy right now. Everything is just insane.
Yeah. But I think for now we can go to our general topics, and as we usually do, we've got some meme stock stuff to talk about. We have a collection, a collage of people who have been talking about Fingermotion and how it fingers its investors, and not in a pleasurable way. If Amy had a post about the private placement, I also saw Tony had brought it up. Are you there, Amy? She's probably away for now, but it's pretty easy to
yeah. Well, they're paying pumpers.
Yes,
as
I'm
usual.
Here. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
It was your tweet. So
do you want to pull up my tweet?
Over.
Okay, there you go.
He has
I was like, so. Well,
At
they're
a
all
share
telling
price,
you that.
Wow, that's way lower than what the price of the shares are currently, or at the time of posting.
Yeah. And so I was like, so while all the pumpers are telling you that Ham is meeting with Pam Bondi at the DOJ, the company's doing private placement to 8 individuals, one being offshore. I did do DDA on this one. But yeah, so one of them was, and they used, the little loophole there, but one of them was offshore, and they didn't say where, they just said offshore. But they issued almost 1 million shares at $2.50. And at this point, I think the stock was still trading, was it 4 or 5?
I can pull it up here real quick. So let me.
It was on May 28th, right? So it was, I think it was still
May
trading
28th,
like.
It was like right here. So it was trading at. Why is this not showing the price?
Oh, look at that, the 29th. Gee, I wonder what happened there.
That was when the news came out.
But yeah, and I think it was trading at like, what was it, $4 or $5, or was
almost
it still
$4.
in the
It was trading at open around $3.94 a share.
On the 28th or on the 29th?
On the 28th, and then you can see it just kind of goes down and down and down.
That was on the 29th, though.
No, this is the 28th. The 29th is right here. This is the 28th. This dump here.
Okay, yeah.
And you have a lot of opening
sold them
volume
at discount to what it was trading at.
Red candles, yeah.
Yeah. So they sold them at a discount to what it was trading at. Plus, on top of this, you have the 5 million in warrants still out that were issued at an even lower price. They were issued in the ones. So when it traded up, when they pumped it up to 5 something, those warrant holders were in at $1 something.
Oh yeah,
so
they were in the money from the start.
I would think that we'll probably see.
Well, and you can look at the chart here.
Some of them smartly executed their warrants on this pump.
And this is the 1 hour candles here, and you can see on the chart, this was
these people probably all sold on the 29th. Like private placement, you can sell right away, right? Or can you not?
It depends on if there's contingency. I didn't look that far in, but for example, when Adam Aaron did the private placement to Mudrick. Yeah. When he did that private placement with Mudrick, there was no contingency. There was no hold time or contingency on those. So
right, but
Mudrick dumped the next morning.
In addition to doing the private placement, he did register those shares.
Who?
The Mudrick ones.
Well, yeah. Well, is that the ones that came from their RSUs? Or was that a different one?
I think it was on an S3. For Mudrick.
No, I know, but he didn't have any shares. I don't think he had the shares. I think they the executives had to actually give some of their restricted stock to it. It was either that one or the one that came after. I think it was that one.
Yeah,
because he got 8 million shares at $27 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would tend to believe that they immediately got them, because here it was just sell off all day on the 28th when they were supposedly issued. You had this big red candle sell volume, and all day it was just sell, and then this you could say was a lot to do with the news.
Well, and you didn't find out about. Breaking. So I don't know, because it's private placement. So I don't the details are going to be scant and hard to find. And you didn't find out about the deal with Mudrick until way later.
No,
that
it
it
was
was
like
that he
I thought
had,
it
like
was-
on the June 1st phone call, they had arranged for there to be no contingencies. He could sell right away, which he did.
well, he said that it was overpriced, and he did sell the same day. That's what he said.
He sold all the shares. Well, he was able to cover the $40 calls that he sold naked, and then dumped the debt as well. The $100 million in debt that he had, he dumped that as well.
Yeah. Something also that was brought up by Tony was the whole, they were lying about the whole Alibaba buying it at $7 to $10 a share.
Mhm.
Like, in spite of a going concern warning being in.
Well, and then look at the first one. On March 3rd, 2025, we issued 27,500 shares of our common stock
At the beginning of the month.
At a what did he say? At a deemed price of $1.86 per share to one entity pursuant to a consulting agreement.
Boom.
Where else have we heard the word?
Well, I've got just the slide for that.
Where else have we heard the word consultant?
Oh,
who was paying
stock
consultants?
Support? Our guys on stock support.
Yeah. Who was that? I can't remember.
Berna.
Yeah. Were they shorts or were they longs?
Well, they were very long and kind of torched the shorts.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Funny enough, whenever there's these pumpers, it's always the longs that get torched that aren't in the scam to begin with.
Well, it's only the longs who have that there's ever any proof of that are receiving either shares or money to tweet.
Right. Yeah. Also, we got another big flip flop.
So we
like last time we talked about him, I could have sworn he said he had no shares, and now it's no.
So Jennifer Vetrano and Southern Oracle were on there asking him. Really all they asked him was, "Are you one of the consultants that got paid on Finger?"
Yeah,
and that turned into 2.5 hours of him
trying to run away from
all
the truth.
all of the things that, like, I mean, it almost was like a confessional. He's talking about $20,000 wire payments. He's talking about how companies have given him money to pay his phone bills. Like, they have just handed him cash.
Well, this is great and all, but has he ever disclosed that to begin with when promoting these stocks?
He's talking about, I mean, it truly was like astonishing to listen to. And then he's like, everyone, that's what Wall Street is. This is what everyone on Wall Street does. And I'm like,
that sounds like someone trying to justify their crimes.
No,
everybody
does.
That's the first word to roll out of the mouth of someone who gets caught. Everybody.
Like, I'm not even being like dramatic or exaggerative. Like, you have to watch it. It's unbelievable. I
wish you had timestamps because, like, we got the link here.
So they come in at the 45-minute mark. I mean, if you want to go to the 45-minute mark and just like he starts there, and then it just yes. So like it starts at the 45-minute mark, and where Jennifer basically asks him if he's one of the consultants.
Well, we got at 44 first. It's got an article here. This looks sketchy.
Just let it play for a couple of minutes. I mean, you could just fast forward through the next like 2.5 hours, and he'll still be talking about it.
Jesus.
I mean, not fast forward. I mean, you could click anywhere in from 45 minutes through the next like 2 hours or so, and he'll be talking about it.
Are you and Ham consultants for Finger? Wow, just go. Well, and she's got the wrench here, which means that she's a moderator. Good on her for like just going.
Go ahead and play it.
Yeah.
Responsibility with anybody here.
Martin did pay. I'm just remembering when we went up to that hotel room to do the interview, Martin did pay for that hotel room. It was like $500.
It gets so much worse.
$600. He paid for it. I didn't pay for it. But it was to the hotel purser, not to me.
That changes it.
I'd like to go to London and visit with, I don't know when he's in London. If it's in June, I probably can't do it, but maybe I'd like to fly over and go to his conference. Is that being a consultant? I don't know. I don't know the terminology.
I don't know the terminology.
Look through like 10 minutes and see where he's at. It's insane.
Here we are. The next question here.
Frank Benedetto, for example,
Yeah, and he
was
calls out
hired
Frank
by
multiple times.
COSM to get you to sell your shares, maybe, but to get you to put money into COSM. He was paid for that as a consultant. It may be disclosed, it may not. That was for COSM. He was also paid for that in 3 other companies. One of them I liked a lot, that one that does the plastic. But that's, for example, what Frank Benedetto does. He goes to a company, they hire him, they pay him 15 grand a month, probably, maybe 20 grand, maybe 25 grand. They give him a slug of stock, and then he gets on conference calls, space calls, and he gives that voice. He knows Tommy, he knows this, he's going to get, and this is going to be a squeeze, and he gets paid. That's what he gets paid for. That's a consultant.
Oh, so you do know what the terminology for a consultant is?
Yeah.
Huh.
But then, so go fast forward a little bit, click through a little bit further. Okay, just start it.
To tell the story, to be there, and
So
I'd love to
saying,
do that.
So okay, pause it. So what he's saying is that like a lot of these companies, he was talking about the rule of 5, right? Like that institutions. Well, the rule of 5 is that institutions don't invest in stocks under $5, and so what he's saying is that these companies that fall into that rule of 5 and don't get any attention from institutions, like they also don't get attention from media or they get good articles written about them or anything. I'm like, and he's basically saying that these consultants are hired to do that for the company because like nobody else is. So they have to come out and tell their story, like tell their story of the company. And it just
I can see maybe that argument, but like never the way that it's done.
Bro, that's called marketing and advertising. That's not hiring people, paying them in shares and having them go say good things about your company.
Yeah, to get them to buy into your stock so you can dilute them. Like every time I've seen one of these consultants, like I've dunked on Stephen Van Meter.
What are they consulting on?
Well,
they're to tweet and pump the stock.
Hold on. Look for Finger, right? This is for their last annual report. That's how much they paid in consulting.
I can't see it.
Like,
what is it?
Almost $2 million.
Yeah,
1.7. Yeah. And then for salaries, 2.5.
That's it, is that they hide it under that. So you don't know who it is. And like, if you go back to that and like, he just starts listing like,
yeah,
I mean, it's insane. It's truly insane.
Have to chop it up later. I do have another post by you.
I've never we were listening to it last night, and I was just like I said, I almost like felt bad because I'm like, does he even know what he's saying?
Yeah, obviously knows what he's saying.
I don't know that he does.
Well, I think
he does. He does. Like, I don't think he thinks that it's wrong, that it's bad.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, he knows what he's doing, but.
And it would be totally fine as long as people disclosed it.
Yeah, because like even though I give shit to Stephen Van Meter for basically being a cheap stock pumper, there's a part in his description and a bumper before he does his promotion saying that they paid him to promote the stock.
Well,
None of these people do that.
Like at the end of
that would be fine.
Seeking Alpha articles or any of those like self-publishing type, publications, they say like, I have a position in the stock or I don't have a position in the stock. Like, I don't know. It just
even a short report will say the same thing. Like, report this stock.
You just have to watch. You just have to watch it, like to really grasp it. I'm probably not doing it justice, but like
I'll probably chop it up at some point and go over it, because if it's just like
it
crazy
really felt like he was in a confessional booth.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got people who are clearly were at some point or maybe still are fans of him, basically asking him serious tough questions like, dude, bro, like, what's going on here? Because this is looking real shady.
He said that like so and so company gave me money to pay my phone bill, and so company gave me money for this, and then he said that 20K was wired.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, I've been paid cash, and like,
well, I mean, it sounds like at least he's being honest, but still, like, yikes.
It was wild to listen to.
But we got another Amy tweet here. So I know it's kind of scrunched in here, but maybe you can do this. Well, maybe I can back it back up and we can.
Well, so here's the story behind this, because I didn't even know the story, because I was like, what is this? Like, why? Nobody had seen this, right? Nobody, like, Dharma Bum tweeted it, and like, even like Brian and the people that are actually in him, they didn't see it either. So apparently it came from a bird lady video. Dharma Bum sent me the actual video, and her story was that, we have another, I think Jerry is his name, like, this is crossed out here, but I think it was Jerry. She's like, basically one of the holders of MMTLP emailed Jerry, asking if shorts have to close. And Jerry wrote him back. This was a response, not from a shill. It was from an MMTLP holder.
Oof. This was quite a while, a few weeks before.
Yeah, this was 11/28. The stock was trading at $9. We looked it up. So Jerry says, TD Ameritrade has not set a date for clients to close short stock positions in MMTLP. There is an internet misinformation campaign concerning this stock, which is leading investors to believe that when a company goes private, a short stock position must be closed prior to that date. This is not true, and investors are welcome to hold short stock all the way through deal close. If the company goes private, long and short positions will be closed at the same time and at the same price. Please let me know if this does not answer your questions or you have others. I'm happy to help. And by the way, this wasn't from a customer service rep. This was from an actual, like, I can't remember. It's scratched out here. She didn't scratch it out on her video, so you can see who he is. But so her whole video, like, the name of it is, let me tell you what the name of it is. One second. Here's Dharma. Here he is. MMTLP confusion ensues to try and get your shares. So her video is saying, this is the brokers trying to get you to sell. This is FUD. And they're just trying to get your shares because the shorts can't cover. Or because the shorts have to close. Like that whole thing. Like the video is like 7 minutes long. I can send it to you if you want to see it. But
not really.
I refuse to watch it myself. So Brian played it through the space. But like, so the brokers at TD Ameritrade, which is weird because then Drew is throwing around that paper that says that the last 2 days are going to be position close only. And but like, it seems like TD had a pretty good grasp of the situation, especially if they knew on 11/28.
Well, it's just like any corporate action. If you go through the corporate action, it doesn't.
So if they knew on 11/28, which was almost a full month before, or no, when did it? No, the 8th, whatever. But they knew that there was a misinformation campaign around this stuff, right? Maybe. Like, so they were fully aware of what was happening, and it looks like they had a pretty good grasp on it. And they're being told this is FUD. This is just it's another, what do you call it? Another Jerry FUD campaign, because they need your shares.
Like, this is the same sorts of lies and deceptions that when I first got into making YouTube videos, when we were talking about Redbox, they're the same lies. No, like they play the same game every corporate action.
But if they
There's
had listened,
none of these corporate actions causes shorts to need to close or do anything.
Shorts, I mean, short of a stock being recalled, shorts are never forced to close. A. B, if they had listened to Jerry here on 11/28,
Jerry was right.
They could have sold their stock.
Right.
They could have sold their stock at $9 a share. Yeah. This was a worthless dividend. Like,
about to be a bankrupt
literally
dividend.
Worthless based on
no
assets.
No
and they
dividend,
paid
no
$9 a share if they had just listened to Jerry.
Oof.
Jerry's telling you right here. Like, this is disgusting. And like people didn't have to lose money. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have to lose, like, the people that we've listened to for all the 900 days, and their stories of poor me. Like, you didn't have to lose money. Nobody forced you. Jerry told you exactly what was going to happen.
Like, the whole internet misinformation campaign kind of came from John Berna. You know, like, it really kind of did, and then just kind of went from there. Even
in how to buy more of this stock.
Even though it was trading illegally, this is how you buy more.
Yeah, looks like some of our people from are finding the alternate. Finally, it's good to know. See, what do you do when you get copyright struck? You just got to keep moving along.
Yeah, but so that was, and nobody had seen that. Like I said, there was, like, you know, people who still hold MMTLP now that said they never saw that.
Well, nobody holds MMTLP now.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, they
next bridge.
Like, Brian still has like 500 shares, but like they never saw that.
Oh, ever?
No.
Well, they should have been watching Bird Lady.
Apparently.
Well, not even that. Just like, but that, like, stuff like that wasn't being passed around Twitter. Someone found that information out, got that email from Jerry, and sent it to the Bird Lady. And the Bird Lady had
probably the person
put a video up saying this is FUD.
Right.
And they were probably told not to post it.
I mean, they probably posted it on Twitter and said the same thing, like, look how bad they want our shares, you know, just like spun it to like something that is just the opposite of what it actually means.
It's so crazy.
Like, the same thing happened with Bed Bath the whole entire time. So
it's like holding the instructions in your hand and being like, meh.
Yeah.
These instructions are FUD.
Yeah. This can't possibly be true.
Cognitive dissonance.
Because somebody
this does not fit in my
know,
worldview. Let me discard it.
Some stranger on Twitter whom I've never met and wouldn't know from fucking Adam in a crowd told me I was going to get $40 to $140 a share. Why would I want to sell it for $9 a share? That's just silly. Like, how do you even get there? How do you even get to that line of thinking?
John Berta.
You're part of a cult and you don't want to disbelieve. I have our next thing is some DD Platinum was doing. Man, that's really scrunchy. Can we get, aha, there we go.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't doing any DD. I just saw this tweet.
Well, I mean, that's technically DD, even if you're stealing someone else's.
This guy who pumped the guy who pumped the Joanne bankruptcy and got him all back to Joanne.
We got some DD on our boy Jeff Curzon, one of my favorite bankruptcy sob-sit litigators. See, I knew about the Express. I knew about Bed
he's
Bath,
actually
about Right Aid.
No, he's an attorney, but obviously not a bankruptcy attorney.
I did not know about Metamaterials or what BurgerFi.
BurgerFi, yeah.
Metamaterials. I actually went back and checked the docket. Yes, he is there. If you go to Court Listener, you can find his proof of
Did he
ownership.
Oh, he has a proof of interest?
Yes.
Okay, but did he file a motion or just a
Nope,
proof of
nothing
interest?
yet. No.
How much did he buy?
That's a great question. Let's go see. Because I'm pretty sure it's in there if you go search.
We're doing the
for it.
real duty here now.
Yeah. We got like I just
How big are his bags?
I settled with, oh, he's in there. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it.
Why wouldn't you believe it?
Right.
I mean, like you
I
got
would be
me
more
there.
surprised if he wasn't in
like-
there.
Oh,
I think I
spelled
found
his
it.
name wrong, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think there's two of them, 1583 and 1540.
Yeah, because he resubmitted because one was in error. I remember that much.
Oh my God, he can't even do this right.
Well, I mean, did you listen to his
Yeah, okay.
nonsense in the hearing that he was?
I
in?
object to everything, Your Honor.
I object to the schedule. What did he say? Like he who controls the what did he say?
The agenda.
He who
The
controls
agenda.
the agenda
The
controls.
agenda.
Controls the narrative.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Something ridiculous.
I
Oh, it
can't
wants me to pay.
fucking know
Yeah.
all of a sudden, did you find it, Platinum?
So there's either 1583 or 1540.
Whichever one's the amended one, and go ahead and screen share it because for some reason I wasn't getting it.
Hold on. It wants me to pay for it. Did you pay for it or no?
No, that's probably why I just saw it and was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too. Whatever.
Not that intrigued.
Yeah,
About
I mean,
all these rest of these we could find out his proof of interest if he submitted it. But since this one's you have to pay for every docket because they don't have a noticing agent because it's a Chap 7. Yeah, no, I'm not that interested. Gotta tell you. But like most of these others I knew about. Like I need to go back and see if he filed anything in the Rite Aid or the WeWork or the Big Lots because I don't remember if he did. I'm sure we would have heard about it.
all right, I paid for it. Whatever.
Okay.
But like this is your legacy. Like this is your legacy right here.
I mean,
there.
Sure.
All you proved is you're a terrible investor.
I mean, yeah, look at all these. Like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bankruptcies. Yikes. Imagine striking out that hard 7 times. Like it's not even like set up and down 7 times.
All right, tell me if you can see it.
Yep.
Let's take a look. How much did he have? Oh, so he had 100 that turned into 1, and then 1,000 that turned into 10.
Wow, because the reverse splits.
I think
Yikes.
so.
Well, at least he didn't have too much, I guess.
13 shares? Jesus.
Why are you submitting this for over
Is he
just for
serious?
13 shares?
Oof.
A 99.99% loss. Kills 99.9 metamaterials kills 99.99% of investors. Oh my goodness.
Like how much are you spending on filing motions?
Oh my God, he even has DRS. He has 100 DRS.
Oh.
Ugh.
A total of $11. What is this dude doing?
I mean, I don't.
Another one, total of $76.
I'm not sure what the filing fee for this would be. I guess I'd have to ask, but it would be. It couldn't be that much, could it?
Well,
like maybe
at least he's not like
$10,
objecting to anything here, so that's good.
I know.
He's just trying to collect.
He hasn't gotten totally crazy yet.
He's trying to collect his $12 back or something here.
Like you're doing this over what 10, 7?
I mean, I just spent more on Pacer to like get that.
Oh my goodness. Let me see here. What other meme stocks? Oh yes. So I don't know if anyone else has been paying attention. I haven't watched any of his fucking videos. Don't
Not at all.
catch me too wrong here, but I have something to submit. It used to be he did like 3 shows a week, right? Like you scroll back here and he had 3 shows a week, a bunch of shows each month, and they were like, if you go all the way back, you'll note. Look, there's a very definite drop off. You will notice when he rugged his viewership on his his scam meme coin.
I mean, he's been on vacay for like, I think he's like
the
for like 2 weeks
viewership dropped rock hard off. Like he was easily getting up into the 8,000 to 6,000 viewership
What's he getting
numbers. Closer to between 3 and 4.
I mean, that is impressive for a stock that does not exist. Yeah, that's how many views.
Right. But at the same time, you had, that's like a third drop off.
Dude, it's been like the shares were canceled in 2023. You can't say that this is.
Well, he's also got GME and IEP in the title too.
I mean, a lot of these folks have moved on, or at least figured it out. But there's still plenty who haven't.
Well, maybe he's figuring it out because this last month,
BBBYQ is still the first stock mentioned.
Did you see the James Janney stuff with Sal?
Yeah. Why don't you get that loaded while I go over this? So we.
You want me to pull it up?
Yeah. Because like this last month, he had like a couple, like some of those might have been actually from last month, but like he's only had one a week, and then there was no show this week. The last show he's done is 11 days. So is he taking vacays every other week, or like what? Like, or is he finally realizing that he has to get a real job because, YouTube isn't paying the bills like it once did?
What about the coin though? He made some money there.
Yeah, probably not enough to keep the lights on for very long. How much was it, Platinum?
How much was what?
That he rugged everyone for.
Like 150K.
Oh, well, never mind then. He did make a pretty penny off that,
and I don't even know that includes fees.
Where does he live? Do you know what state he lives in? Doesn't he live in Texas or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Amy, why does your state have all the grifters?
I don't know.
Hey, that should have pulled yours, but I didn't. Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, starts out with, "I'm looking forward to the perfectionist style you'll uphold when your last video is proven incorrect. The question will be, will you address how poor the research was, or will you simply delete it?"
Sal was invited to go on there. Like, if
Sal throwing stones.
And I'm pretty sure that Sal actually spoke to him.
Like, he literally did.
And or something.
Yeah, and if he wanted to be on it, he could have been on it. So if the research was so poor, I mean, he could have came on and, talked about his unwavering, conviction if he wanted.
I just find it hilarious.
He responds, right, with this tweet from 11/4 of 2023. Within 12 days, the world will witness the power of unwavering conviction. 18 months of research.
He clearly had
using inductive reasoning, logical deduction, and some gut instinct.
No.
So he says,
none of that.
Proven wrong. Not sure this guy is though.
Like he had receipts ready for any of these people clapping at him.
So Sal says, "Good to hear. I can miss every date prediction and still debunk your entire documentary."
I can be wrong literally every time I open my mouth, but I'm still right.
I can debunk your entire documentary post acquisition.
Yeah, what
acquisition?
I replied to James. I just said, "Well, he thinks he's just wrong about dates. Meanwhile, Bed Bath & Baby belongs to Beyond and are currently operational under them. Reality has more than moved on without these folks. Nothing to acquire, so you won't be proven wrong."
Oy.
And it's true,
he knows that too.
right? Like this person, like Sal's still like talking shit and has been fundamentally wrong at every turn.
Well, I think there's a tweet. Let me see if I can go find that, because that was also posted to Meltdown. Obviously, there's one post someone said that I think that really encapsulates that entire situation from Jack of Spades. Honestly, how do you even win an argument against someone like Sal? Dudes always be attacking personified. You can get a gotcha on someone like Marantz, and PP is so visibly pathetic. But Sal, whenever you point out his bullshit, he doubles down with even more aggressive, smug, and nonsensical pile baloney. Mm-hmm. He'll maybe delete his account when they finally complete the liquidation, but that's cold comfort regarding someone as vile as that. not even the actual justice system is keeping him where he should be.
True.
Well, he was already there. He served 8 months in jail for money laundering.
He should still be there. He's an unwavering convict. So
Him and
like,
Ethan should
like,
get together
he said he
and
was
start a
taking-
YouTube channel called Unwavering Conviction, as if he's been convicted.
He said he was put there to take care of his mother, and then like, no, he was in jail, and they're just like, this is our savior.
Tell
He's
us,
here to
Savior.
save us.
That's what we should put on a T-shirt. We should have him with
No.
prison bars and just put unwavering conviction. It's
I
a
would
double
never wear a shirt
entendre.
with that guy on it.
Convicted and was sent to prison. Put it on a T-shirt.
That's not a T-shirt.
It's like sad. Yeah, it's like almost like just too pathetic to even respond to because it's like so sad.
Well, yeah, like that one post said, it's like he just doubles down, like always be attacked. It's like the classic Scientology tactic: always be attacking, never defend anything, always attack the person.
Yeah,
classic cult psychology.
I mean, like literally, what do they think that there is to acquire? Honestly,
a brain.
And anyone well, because he said post-acquisition, right? What is to be acquired at this stage right now?
The ability to read.
No, I'm serious. Like, as from DK Butterfly, like if someone was wanted to acquire,
Amy's trying to have a serious conversation.
Okay, fine.
Flappy's doing a drive-by.
I'll tell you what they could acquire: debt. Okay, there's the real answer.
Well, just like this whole idea that like they still think that the board of directors settled for billions of dollars, like.
And they'll probably keep thinking that to the grave.
The board of directors
no
didn't pay a fucking penny. D&O insurance covered it. Like,
right.
like
anyway.
6th Street is still impaired.
Money's gone.
Currently,
Money's gone.
6th Street is still impaired.
But hold on, for everyone who doesn't know, impaired means they still haven't gotten paid back, and they don't expect to be paid back.
Right.
Because they would need to get paid back everything plus interest, which it's not happening.
Any money they get goes to 6th Street, and they still won't be paid in full.
Right. Although they do have a sharing mechanism where 6th Street will share with other classes, well, up to class 6, but that's only after like successful litigation. So some of the money would get down, but they would have to reach a certain threshold, which they're not there yet.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Right. And if they never
so you're saying that didn't
Oh, you're talking about the 0 to 2.5% or whatever.
Right. That would go
That's
up
how they
to
got the bondholders to
6.
probably agree to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't think the bondholders even had a vote because they were impaired. So I don't think they had a choice.
Oh, I thought they had to like approve it or at least got to vote on it or whatever.
You know what? I'm not sure, but I don't think so because they were impaired. So I don't know. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
Because I feel like I remember reading something that said the bondholders took the agreement for like 0 to 2.5%.
That sounds like something Michael would say because he was the one saying that they agreed to only take up to 2.5%, and then after that, shareholders would get paid.
Wrong.
Which obviously wrong.
Class 6 would have to be made whole.
100%, right.
And even then,
they would have to have extra.
Yeah, they would have to have extra, and even then, it wouldn't go to class 9 because class 9 has been eliminated.
Well,
they have no rights.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. They are not entitled to any of the money that is recovered.
Yeah.
Because they know there's going to be no money recovered. It's just
that was in the plan, though. Like even if there was, even if they did get billions of dollars, like class 9 is out.
And if there was billions of dollars to get, they would just keep the company going as a going concern.
They're not eligible.
And then class 9 would have been eliminated, and then the creditors would have taken over the new entity. If there was billions of dollars out there.
And that's called a credit bid, and that's what Sal kept on trying to say was going to happen, and never happened.
Because why would it?
Right.
Like when you apply logic to anything that these fucking idiots say, it makes zero sense. And these
reality
eat it up.
is
They just eat it up.
Like, you know, looking at your brokerage account and seeing that there's nothing there, like that is reality. You know what I mean? You can't really fight that forever.
Every single day. In the form of zeros.
I just wanted to bring this back up from Tony, having seen this don't go, because this I'm sure has collapsed down since then, but this
is going
to RGC,
never mind.
Regacell Bioscience Holdings. I only wanted to bring it up because he mentioned that it was a Hong Kong company, and I think we've talked about this prior on the show. It was brought up by
like HKD.
Yes, exactly. That was the thing that was being referenced here. And when we talked about HKD, Hindenburg had pointed out, and a couple other people had pointed out, that this is a classic thing that happens where these sort of offshore Chinese entities or onshore Chinese entities get a bunch of people to pump up the stock and then get a bunch of American suckers sucked in so they can rug them.
I don't even know if it's like I mean, I know that we have seen our fair share of human pumpers or whatever, but like I've been told that there's like almost like there's not even a bot thing happening. Like if you pull up the stock Buru, it's like BURU, and there was it was like one of those ones that was replying to like have you ever seen the tweets where they're like, oh, this guy made me such and such money, right? The bots that reply on your thing.
Oh, and they start giving you stock tips. Yeah.
Well, so now they're saying, so see that big spike and this is Buru, yeah?
And it's all after hours.
It all happened after hours.
Yeah, which is your real big hint, because it's really easy on those when there's thin volume out there to manipulate the price, because there's no one to soak up the price.
So the person who told me was saying, like, anytime he would send out a tweet on that particular day, it would like have this auto reply, like the same thing you see with like, oh, this guy made me tons of 20,000% or whatever, but it was with this stock.
Huh.
And like with this, because like those ones that reply and say that such and such trading room made me such and such money, like they don't list actual stocks. Like this campaign was listing an actual stock.
Wow. This is
and then it runs. Stuff. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, what is this company? I don't even know. I didn't look at the company.
Yeah.
Let's look. But so yeah, there was this like bot campaign. So like, I don't know if that's what we're moving into, is just these.
Apparently they make lasers. Blue lasers.
Great.
I'm a firing my laser.
But okay, so that's happening. Anyway. That's happening now. So that's fun.
All sorts of wonderful Chinese scams. You should watch a really good documentary called "The China Hustle" for more. That's not even the scam they're doing anymore. It's become even more sophisticated. But from Chinese,
I mean, you can program bots to do anything.
From Chinese scams to crypto scams. So yeah, I'm going to get blasted for a Jim Chanos link, but apparently our good old boy Michael Saylor has been really talking up how his company during the Bitcoin conference that happened, Bitcoin 2025. I take that happened this last week, because there's a whole lot of clips from it.
I didn't watch this, but like a bunch of people were super pissed off at him after this, right?
Well, yeah. He also said like no proof of reserves and like made up some stupid. Because
somebody asked like if he would show the proof of reserves, and he was basically like,
I've always been asking for proof of reserves for this, because I'm like, what if he's just taking the money and not even buying Bitcoin? I mean, that is a possibility without proof, right?
And then it gets him to inflate his wealth that he can now, borrow against, and as the CEO of this company that hasn't really been doing shit, but now.
Like what if it's in his own wallet?
I want to hear him. Do you have the 230 mark?
Yeah, that's what I was setting up. But basically, he was saying that with an MNAM of 1, he could still make money by scamming people by basically.
Oh, that's funny.
He basically describes a Ponzi scheme. That's basically what he does.
last time he said they could still make money by selling common stock, not even preferred. So he's already been losses.
Oh, he reversed that now. It's the other way.
And Ryan Cohen is following this guy's advice.
So, we'll get to Ryan. He's on the list too. Don't worry.
He could be
was at this conference.
Foreshadowing, right? What's the company?
He can't. Yeah, I'm foreshadowing that video. He can't talk to his own investors, but he'll come to a crypto conference to chill.
Did he speak?
Yes, we'll get to that.
He did like a video. I haven't watched it, so this will be my first time actually watching it.
Yeah, we'll watch it in full then.
Ooh.
How long is it?
We constructed the company so that the company can generate
generate
gains even at NAV or below NAV. For example, we have $64 billion of Bitcoin. If the stock were to trade to $1 tomorrow, well, we wouldn't sell the equity, duh. We would just sell the preferred stock. We would be selling stock over collateralized 10-to-1 against Bitcoin with a 10% yield, and we would generate billions of dollars of gains selling the preferred or the fixed income instrument. At some point, people would say, wow, they're generating gains anyway, and then the value would come back into the equity.
This is literally a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
This is literally a Ponzi scheme.
The whole time.
Like, what even?
Like, if it went down to $1, it would go down to 10 cents. Like, no one's going to hold it for no reason.
Yeah. And then that isn't the only wonderful clip, because someone in the comments brought us this wonderful gem. Whoops, wrong way there.
If you're a dentist and you make $200,000 a year in cash flow, you can buy 200,000 of Bitcoin every year for 20 years. And that's not a bad idea. You'll be the richest dentist on your block. But you can incorporate the dental practice, get it valued at 5 times cash flow, get $1 million value, sell 33% of it for $500,000. Take the $500,000, invest in Bitcoin today, wait a year, raise another $500,000 at a double market cap, 2, 3, 4 times NAV, invest that, wait another year, raise $3 million, invest that, you'll be the first billionaire dentist on your block.
Look at the world of zero bear markets ever.
Yeah, and while we're on it, again, Ponzi scheme, and oh, by the way, securities fraud. Well, I mean, I guess if you disclose that you're using it to buy Bitcoin, but who would want to invest into a dentist corporation just to buy? Oh, never mind. Retards are doing that right now anyway.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? Like how many companies have said they bought Bitcoin in the last 6 months?
Fucking abject stupidity is like killing me inside as an investor. Like when is this Ponzi bubble on Bitcoin going to pop? Because whatever arguments that you have legitimately about Bitcoin, you cannot tell me what he just described, what Michael Saylor's been describing with his own company, is not a fucking Ponzi scheme. Like, anyway, to the fun part. Now, like, I wanted to bring this up originally. I didn't realize that you hadn't watched it, Platinum. This is like
I've been busy this week.
But like, I was going to ask you, like, dude, the last time we heard him speak about the company openly was at the shareholders meeting. This dude can't be bothered to be part of an earnings call, but will pop up for 6 minutes at a Bitcoin conference to.
Yeah, 6 minutes is way longer than I thought it was going to be.
But not a whole lot that happens here. He does, I think, talk about Gamestop a little bit. So.
Well, that's nice. He is the CEO, so that's good.
Oh, I forgot that the audio is kind of off
Bailey from BTC
for some reason.
And I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Cohen from Gamestop. What's up, Ryan?
Why does he always look like he has a filter on his face?
Doing well, man. I'm enjoying these Bitcoin prices. How about you?
It's all good.
Well, let's get
It's
started.
really strange because when I downloaded
we're talking
it was
innovative
fine.
corporate strategies. We're talking pioneering.
The video and the sound is not synced.
Yeah, let me just go find the actual, like, because like I downloaded it and I double checked, and the audio and the sound, I mean the video and the sound were like on, but now it's just not wanting to work. Okay, cool. Give me 1 second here. It should be in my history list here because I was recently watching it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm not a total masochist, but all right. So we'll just yank this over here, and then we'll get the screen share back up here. There we go. This should put the audio on there. Because I know it was lined up here. Oh, no, never mind. It wasn't.
What's up, everybody? It's
so
David
this is
Bailey
the
from BTC
recording
Inc., and I'm here with the man.
Okay, obviously this was done by someone on a non-professional. So I thought it was timed up. Apparently
the myth,
it wasn't.
the legend,
So
Ryan Cohen from Gamestop. What's up, Ryan?
What's up? How are ya?
Doing well, man. I'm enjoying these Bitcoin prices. How about you?
It's all good.
Well, let's get started. We're talking innovative corporate strategies. We're talking pioneering from a dying business to a thriving business. How'd you do it?
When I took over, the company was a piece of crap and losing a lot of money. The company was under a lot of pressure, moving from physical games to digital downloads. So you had to cut costs. You had to cut costs.
What was that, Amy? Yeah, he did say his own company is a piece of crap. Nice. Let me turn this down just a little bit.
Very aggressively and bring in fiscal discipline. And we did. And retail is a tough business, but it was a big focus on getting costs under control. You've got a lot of macro headwinds going against the company. A lot of money. The company was under a lot of pressure, moving from physical games to digital downloads. So you had to cut costs. You had to cut costs.
No, now
very aggressively and bring in fiscal discipline. And we did. And retail is a tough business, but it was a big focus on getting costs under control. You've got a lot of macro headwinds going against the company. You have a move from physical games to digital downloads, and we needed to get the costs under control and also shift the business from being so reliant on video games to collectibles, which we've done. And so now there's a big focus on trading cards. We're doing grading in a bunch of stores, and we're selling a lot of trading cards, both in sports and TCG. But the company today is profitable in the US, and we've gotten our costs under control. You had a lot of executives and directors that were very short-sighted, and effectively they were making decisions that were what they call in corporate America in good corporate governance, which is effectively screwing shareholders. So we got rid of all of that nonsense, and we focused on running the business profitably.
Well, you also...
Wait, did I hear that right? Did he say he got rid of good corporate governance? I'm confused. He made it sound like...
I'm not sure what he's the whole shift where the audio reconnected was very distracting.
Yeah, I know. I wish this wasn't the only recording that I saw on YouTube. Maybe there's a better one.
No,
there somewhere.
When did he take over as CEO?
2020.
So 2020 is when he wrote the letter to the board, November 2020.
But he was still.
And then he took over in like 22, 23,
still
right?
Just a shareholder, right?
He what?
And when did
he was on the board, and then he was chairman of the board, and then he became president and CEO.
When?
After that, I can't remember. I'd have to look.
It's like 23, wasn't it? I want to say late 23 or early 24.
I think so. I would. Hold on.
Yeah, we've got Google. We can do this.
They named him president September 28th, 2023.
Okay,
president and CEO. Mm-hmm.
So at that point, right? That was what 2 years and 6 months after the squeeze, right? Ish.
So
January
2021 to September 2023. Yeah.
2 years and 8 months ish. Oh, no, they both happened kind of at the end of the year. Anyway, regardless. Like, think about all the people, like, never mind. All right, go ahead.
News about, what, a month ago or so that you raised some money that you might use to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah. Enough about the company you're running. Let's talk about Bitcoin.
I guess the million-dollar question that everyone wants to know is, has GameStop bought Bitcoin?
We have bought Bitcoin.
Okay, how much?
We currently own 4,710 Bitcoins.
Let's go.
What's the
Let's
cost
go.
basis, though?
So
yeah, that's the real question.
So I think
here,
like just like in kind of piecing out like all the information together, I think it might be somewhere around like 90K.
It's over 100. It's got to be.
I'm talking about his cost basis.
Well, yeah, because they have to, what was it that someone posted? I saw on Twitter. I can't remember the exact user.
You have to file an EP within 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 days before the 8K, well, I mean, the thing is, like, there
within
really
4 days
is.
of purchasing it?
That's what most people do. It has to be within 4 days of the material event. So maybe like he started buying and then finished buying, you know, and then reported it.
Right.
It's like, because there really is no like actual SEC guidance, right? Like they all report it under item 8.
Yeah. Do you have to do it at the beginning or at the end?
Mm-hmm.
There's just no guidance whatsoever. And he didn't even put the cost basis on the 8K. So then you have people that are like, oh, you know, they got it for this price or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know, if they have to do it within 4 days, like I'm just going to assume they did it. And
does anyone know Sailor's cost basis? Like they don't have
because
to.
he announces it literally every single time. He announces the new adjusted cost basis for his overall and also how much he
every time he buys.
Well, at least he's being transparent about that, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at least, right? Like it would be nice to have that too, so people aren't like arguing back and forth. I mean, obviously we'll find out on the next financial report like what the cost basis was, but it's just annoying.
Mark-to-market loss.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, when is it a material event, right? So like I would think that you would have to do it probably at the end.
Yeah.
Like because otherwise they would be filing it every time. Like surely he didn't buy all 4,710 at the same time.
Why not?
You'd have to file it all at the same time.
I mean, you could buy it all in a day. I don't see why not.
I mean, you could, but that's not smart.
But like, could he have started
for how much
a month ago?
Like, I mean, and for this guy who is like he said in his own words, like, I care about price. Like,
right, he wants to be like fiscally responsible and all this shit, but yet he's buying Bitcoin at the top.
I know, right? At the top of the market on Bitcoin.
I mean, you read it yourself when he was like, they were asking him like why he wanted to buy, and he was like, or when or whatever, and he was like, depends on the price. It depends.
Oh, you mean for Bed Bath?
Yeah, like he's just very like conscious of the price of things.
Well, that's literally what he was just talking about. GameStop losing money and how now they're profitable, blah blah blah, and like, you know, they're gonna have
profitable.
Well, I mean, hey, profit is profit, okay? Even if treasury interest.
I just got to be a shill and point out that it's not operationally profitable.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. But now he'll have to also report any unrealized losses or gains from the Bitcoin. So that's another thing that is going to, you know,
affect the income statement. Yeah,
the overall.
See, I was just looking at like timing, or I was looking at like timing of kind of different things, and that's kind of where I ended up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he bought it all at one time, or if he, you know, acquired and then he's done, and this is where he's going to stay. So they filed the material event. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still has more money left over because they did get 1.5 billion, and even if say they bought it at like 100,000, that's still only what, like $470 million.
What's it at right now?
I have no idea. It was at like 108.
Yeah, I closed out Webull, so
yeah, but crypto's been down.
Oh, is it going down again?
It was, yeah. Let's see. Crypto. Bitcoin's at 104. But as we know, he has no hesitation in selling.
Right. It also did say that, like in the annual report for shareholders, it says that they have no problem selling any Bitcoin that they acquire.
Yeah.
Which that's what I like to hear.
I could have told you that even if you didn't disclose it.
No shit. That's what I said too. I'm like, you know what? It's okay because I do know that he sold Bed Bath at the top, so I know that at least he'll do that.
Why did GameStop decide to buy Bitcoin?
It was if the thesis is correct, then Bitcoin and gold as well can be a hedge against global currency devaluation and systemic risk.
He sounds
Bitcoin
Canadian.
has certain unique advantages.
He does sound Canadian,
to
actually.
gold.
Yeah, Canadian and California.
The portability aspect of it's instantly transferable across the globe, whereas gold is bulky and very expensive to ship. The authenticity, it's instantly verified via the blockchain. The storage, you can easily secure Bitcoin in a wallet, whereas gold requires insurance and it's very expensive. There's the scarcity element of it as well. There's a fixed supply of Bitcoin, whereas with gold, certain technological advances, the supply of gold is still uncertain. And then ultimately there's the asymmetric upside. Gold is a more mature market. It's roughly around 20 trillion of market capitalization, whereas Bitcoin today is about 2 trillion. And if the thesis is correct, then ultimately Bitcoin becomes digital gold, adopted, then there's more upside. But we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry.
Has a
Can we pause that for a
ball.
second?
Look, if we want to make
the biggest load of bullshit. Like
those are all the Bitcoin shilling points. So
yes,
that's what they all
he knows exactly who he's talking to.
Yeah, but like paper gold is backed by literal gold. Bitcoin is backed by Bitcoin holders. Like there's nothing tangible or real backing crypto.
And I'll make the same argument
Besides
about Bitcoin
Michael Saylor.
And I'll make the same argument about Bitcoin holding as a company that I made about their treasury holdings. It's like, why? Okay, if you want to be a hedge fund and dump the retail aspect. But like, why?
That's kind of what he's doing. It kind of is what he's doing.
A slow roll of it. I'm saying just all at once. Fucking get rid of it. Like, why are we doing what? Like, why have a haircut on your returns for your treasuries and your Bitcoin by having this retail business
holding you down?
Yeah, pretty much.
About,
like, what the fuck's going on here, bro?
Can we talk about like the stab to Moritz's heart when he called GameStop a piece of crap? I'm sorry,
he said it was.
On that.
It was. That's
it
yeah.
was.
That's the, and then I came along. Yeah, that fits with the narrative perfectly.
Piece of crap. That's why he sold all of it off.
But that's the current thesis.
Well, congratulations, and I feel like GameStop is the ultimate meme stock, and Bitcoin is the ultimate meme money.
Win anything.
And if you combine
this
is a 6-minute circle jerk.
He paid $500 million for Bitcoin. He didn't win.
Like this 6-minute circle jerk where they both like, ooh, Bitcoin people, I really love them. Oh yeah, GameStop's really the best meme stock ever.
I mean, like, congratulations.
I guess they did get a room.
Buy Bitcoin right now. Congratulations.
Like, why does this need to be on camera? Is this a porno?
The two, you get a meme super cycle. So, what's next for GameStop and Bitcoin? Are you going to buy more Bitcoin? Is this the next MicroStrategy, the next MetaPlanet, or even better?
We're not going to call our shots in advance for obvious reasons, but GameStop is following GameStop's strategy. We're not following anyone else's strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So to summarize, embrace the GameStop theory. I like it. So final question. The world is watching right now. Everyone at the conference is watching this interview. We probably have 10 million, 50 million people on the live stream. What is the message you'd like to send the global Bitcoin community and everyone who's watching this interview right now?
No pressure. No pressure. Don't follow GameStop. Make your own decisions independently.
Well, he's trying to save himself from the boatload of trouble that's been following him since 2021.
Emoji gate. He's like, when I tweet a moon, do not listen.
It's a moon.
He's literally in his head. He's like, "This is why I don't do interviews."
Yep. I know, right?
Okay. It's my message. Just do whatever you're comfortable with.
Don't trust, verify. Let's go.
Exactly.
Well, Ryan, thank you for
that guy is like gotta be the shittiest interviewer ever. Just like max cringe, full throttle.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guy. Like he was given the Bitcoin.
So as our resident GameStop influencer expert, what title do you want to get there, Platinum?
I mean, I just hold shares.
He just holds shares. We'll
do you
put
want
that
to show
as the
your
tagline. I just hold shares.
Yeah, I have a neck tattoo that says GameStop.
Yeah, you show your GameStop.
So why don't you give us the I just hold shares perspective on that interview, I guess.
I mean, you know, it would be nice to hear him talk at like earnings calls and not like, or talk about his cost basis there. Mm-hmm. It's like whatever, like that's really nothing new. So yeah, I didn't really get anything from that.
It felt more like an advertisement for GameStop and Bitcoin and the stock. Like there was
not even for the stock.
Yeah, stock sold off
for Bitcoin.
That's fair. It did sell off as like that was a true sell the news event.
Oh, for sure.
Like they announced they bought the Bitcoin and then so not the
you know what's great is the rift that has happened between GME elitists and Bitcoin maxis.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of them that have been selling when they didn't hear the news or something like that was going on, or there wasn't enough disclosures, and so like I'm selling my position.
I think
and
it's
then
more of like we've been here the whole time, and now you're coming in. Like you can't sit with us. Is really
it's so
cults fighting over each other.
Oh my god, exactly. So like I'm like not like big on Bitcoin, and so now I have like a whole new cult that hates me. It's like, oh my god.
And you thought Path and Beyond people were rabid.
But like all the talking points he just said, like that's what they just like repeat over and over and
over and over and over again.
It's like, okay, you guys, got it.
Whatever.
Heard you.
Not the only news out of Bitcoin 2025. Well, that's a Bitcoin 2024 podium, but not the only news out of Bitcoin land. TJT.
Oh my god. Is that where they were going?
Well, this is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends.
They just did an offering.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what this article is about.
So is that why it's going down? Because I noticed that I actually made money on puts last week.
Yeah, they just did an offering.
Yep, they will buy 2.5 billion. From 2.5 billion in company stocks. So yeah, that's what the offering's about.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to buy Bitcoin with common shares.
Yep. Fantastic.
Also, 50 investors. I wonder what the 50 investors are going to put in 1.5 billion to build a Bitcoin treasury. That wonderful buzzword.
Sounds like money laundering, but whatever.
I mean, yeah. Has that not been what DJT's been about? Hey, or even his coin, his meme coin. Hey, if you want to influence me, please, please, please buy these things so I can then sell out from under you.
Put a weird hat on your head and come eat some terrible food.
Like that was one of the tweets that I forgot to mention during last week when we were talking about that everyone from that conference admitted behind closed doors that yeah, we bought this so that we could go and influence Trump and get preferential treatment. Like if that wasn't obvious, like that like I guess that's one of those omissions that's not really a hidden secret. So but they're not the only ones doing this. One company was crazy enough and intelligent enough to realize, man, all these people are piling into the Bitcoin thing. You know what would really pop our stock? If we did Ethereum instead.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Yes. Didn't they go up like a ton?
Yeah. Let me pull up that chart. Let me get Webull back up. Because
good luck.
This
the Ethereum
was
Foundation?
crazy. Best bet, right? Was the ticker? Yeah. Like it came down hard on Friday.
Ethereum or the stock?
No, the stock. Like, look, it got up to a high of 124.12 and then all the way down to 76.70 to close.
Yeah, but didn't it go from $7?
Yeah, all the way down here at $3 at the beginning of
they said was that they were buying Ethereum
treasury.
So they were trading at about like the
they
lowest.
Had 72% short interest. This was like a real short squeeze that happened right there.
Yeah.
So like they were down at 362 on the 23rd. So like Friday of last week. Then they announced it to begin the week, and it was just there was a bit of a bump up here to like what was it 50, and that's where I was thinking about maybe that's and they're saying good thing I let that ride out.
Yeah, Phil was going to short it. Me and him were talking about it one morning, the morning that we saw it going up, and I was like, it was at like $36 pre-market, and the day before it closed at like 6 something. And I was like,
after that first rip, it came back down to about the 30 range.
Right. And I'm like, this could go to like $50. I said to him, I had no idea it got up.
And then it ripped. Tuesday got up to, was that 90 range, 90 to 29, and then kept on going. And after hours, it opened, got up to a high of 124, and then just collapsed.
Wow. I hope Phil was able to short it from the top.
Yeah. Like it's hard to read those sometimes, but
still following this.
Like I've got it bookmarked as a thing to follow. Like I mean, it looked like the time to do it was to ride that open and then but how would you know until it starts like falling out from under you? I tend to wait for like the momentum to peter out, and it's hard to tell that the momentum has been sucked out of this.
Right.
I mean, that's what I did with GameStop when it had that huge after Roaring Kitty ride up. People were buying those weeklies, and that's what I was doing. It would spike hard on Monday and Tuesday. It would flatline by Wednesday. That's when I'd move in Tuesday, Friday, and then you get out by the end of Friday because the next spike is Monday with the new options. So, like that's always been my strategy when shorting, and like I don't know. Like that's why I was looking at it on that first rip, and I passed on it luckily because it had a second wind, and you just don't know when a stock that's based on vibes, not actual real anything tangible, just vibes. It's hard to tell. Ethereum treasury. That's still I classify that as vibes.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what to do with. I have a feeling that this is probably going to be our last thing tonight, depending on, because I do want to kind of spend some time on it. I saw this from when I was watching an episode of Hannah Reloaded. Have you guys read this article, the Rolling Stones article, People Are Losing Loved Ones to AI-Fueled Spiritual Fantasies?
No. But I'm not surprised.
Maybe we won't read all of it.
It looks like we won't read it.
Yeah. Well, I could get the archived version, but like if you want to watch it, you can go to her channel and she reads the whole article, and it's crazy. It's like cults based around the AI. It talks about how with Chat GPT, I think one of the things that I remember the most about when I was watching that was there was someone who had like Chat GPT create this whole like persona that like talked to him, and like after a while I think it was like for some writing assignment or something, and he got rid of it, told ChatGPT to never reference it again, but it would keep like coming back and like trying to interact with him, and like it gained some of this like faux sentience kind of thing. There are people that like have relationships and treat like their created chat GPT things as like real people entities. There's like, I think we talked in an article previously where like someone like committed suicide because of like some Chat GPT bot told them to, or some like AI bot. It like,
I mean, a Chat GPT could probably start a cult.
Like that's what this entire article is about, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like
sounds about right.
Basically, people like they go down a conspiratorial rabbit hole. They basically Like,
this is like Black Mirror.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Love that show.
Yeah. Let's see here. Was there anything else that was interesting here?
Justin Bieber is in a cult. I don't know if you guys heard. There's like there's like a TMZ special about it. How Justin Bieber is in some cult, and like that's why he's like fallen off. It's like a church cult.
Don't they have a baby?
They do have a baby.
Well, all the stuff that I had preloaded, we already talked about, because we talked about Palantir, we talked about the whole U.S. Steel thing. I mean, unless you want to talk about Elon Musk, we can go straight to tweet of the week instead of talking about Elon Musk and his addiction to fucking
ketamine and Adderall.
Ketamine to the point he can't hold in his bowel movements.
Kids gave him black eye. Like,
no, like, did you hear what was the most recent theory on that? Fucking let me pull it back up because this one's kind of funny. I mean, you have to kind of vet the source a little bit, because it's Steve Bannon who said this happened, but apparently the person who gave him the shiner was Scott Bessett. They got into an argument over Doge and how much money that it got back, and apparently Musk shoved him, and so Scott punched him.
Doubt it.
Like I said, again, the source is Steve Bannon, so take that for whatever you want to value that.
Literally nothing.
So you guys have your stupid tweet of the week?
I do. Mine's an interesting one because it's really referencing my stupid tweet of the week, which we've already talked about, but it's so funny that I have to.
Oh boy.
It's just so funny. Okay. From Vinny.
Oh man, why did it not? Dang it. There we go.
Vinny said, "I'm not suicidal. I'm exposing massive financial retardation. I have been threatened with RICO. I love my dog.
That's not a stupid tweet. That's a beautiful bird.
I love my dog and shills, and I deeply value my life. If anything happens to me, it is not by my choice. I am doing this for myself. I will not be silenced. Please share this post."
I assume the stupid tweet is the retweet there.
Of course it is.
Oh my goodness! Did you see the one that puzzle post that?
This is mental illness, like somebody who comes to social, and this is not the first time she's done it, by the way.
Yeah, she did about the same time in 2024.
Yes,
Puzzled relinked to that one. I saw it.
Like this is, I almost like
here's the original.
Like you need like professional help here. Like you need psychiatric help. Like this is a stock or the stock market or any of this stuff shouldn't do this. You know, we always say just touch grass. You know, like you maybe just need to step away and touch grass, because I think Twitter fuels this stuff.
Oh, I bet.
And especially because now she's, you know, in the grips of like Ham and Bam and that Pedro guy and Kristen Shaw.
Polish dildo.
This whole like, you know, gang of misfit toys. But I feel like social media and like fuels this stuff. Like nobody, the 2024 tweet, she said that she thought her phone was tapped and that she could hear voices.
What?
Wait, do you have the 2024 tweet? Do you have the 2024 tweet?
Did she talk about gang stalking though?
Here, let me find it.
Did she go full on? I want to.
Did you say Puzzle tweeted it out?
Yes.
Here, I'll find it.
Yeah, she retweeted it.
You can pull up mine.
Who is she like a whistleblower against even? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question.
She thinks that clear. She's like, I filed a federal RICO case.
Right.
She's talking about the trade station.
Going into arbitration.
Yeah, that went into arbitration as in a civil RICO, not criminal.
Yeah, exactly. And like, she's like,
and who are you blowing the whistle on in that case? Even like, I'm still
When
confused.
did she post it, bud? Recently? Where am I looking?
I just saw it pop up in my feed, so I don't know when.
You sure it was from her?
Yes, I'm sure it was from Puzzled.
Was it a repost or?
Yeah, she retweeted it.
Okay, she retweeted it, so it would be on her actual feed. I was looking in her replies. Let me go back.
Because there's the original one.
But like, where's her husband? Like if this is how, like, this can't, like, this isn't an act, right? Like, some people come on here and they just act like they're.
Oh, here it is.
Like, sitting on the couch, like, yeah, you're not suicidal. Got it.
Right. So you pull it up. And we'll read that. I am in fear for my life. Therefore, I am making this public declaration. If anything happens to me, please know that I'm healthy, not suicidal. I'm a very good driver. I have reasons to believe that my phone is being bugged. My calls are often dropped. So are mine. And I experience difficulties in making or accepting calls. Additionally, I frequently hear echoes.
Get a better service provider.
Yeah, I frequently hear echoes and noises in the background.
That sounds like you're schizo.
Yeah, I'm currently involved in a lawsuit against some very corrupt and powerful individuals. Making this announcement public helps me feel safer. The evidence I have is overwhelming, and it seems that those monitoring my calls are aware of this. Please share this. Like, you're on a burner from Walmart. Like, the fact that she thinks she hears echoes and noises in the background, like, I'm sorry, but this is mental illness. And like, people probably say these things to her. People probably, I mean, like, look how much interaction she got with her I'm not suicidal tweet.
Yeah, I mean, they're both
like 1K on both of them.
Yeah.
Gardner Wade is like retweeting it. It's like, if anything happens to Anna, blah, blah, blah. Like,
it sounds like someone who's
on anything.
Who's disassociative, who has schizophrenia, and is having their schizophrenia affirmed by other idiots with mental illnesses. This is like people getting together at the lunch counter at the Rubber Room, all verifying each other's delusions.
It's crazy. And like, I don't even want to make fun of it. Like, and I'm not making fun of it. Like,
well, I almost replied to her, like, who are you whistleblowing against and what is the information? You might as well make it public. Like, why keep it secret? Because, I mean, if
that's the only thing that makes me think that this is either a delusion.
Whistleblowers don't come out on Twitter and say I'm a whistleblower.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the part that makes me think it's either a delusion or she's just doing it for attention.
Like, did she even file a whistleblower report? Does she even know what that is? Probably not. Like, I have, but I'm not like tweeting about it. Like, I'm not suicidal. I can't believe it. Like,
yeah, I did, but like,
yeah.
But did she do that? I have no idea because she doesn't really mention.
I don't know that any of this is real life. Like,
right.
You hear echoes and voices in the background of your phone, like during a phone call.
To me, gonna be honest.
Like, and to encourage it, like, it's for anyone that is like replying and encouraging it instead of saying, "Bro, something's wrong with her," like, and not encouraging her to seek some help, because, like, I've seen some, crazy in following these stock holds, but that is next level.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll laugh at Vinny's tweet, but like, on the real, like, that's scary. And like, how old are her kids? Like, and like, are you behaving like this in front of your kids and your husband? Like, are they not concerned?
I have no idea if she even has kids or a husband. No clue.
She did. She said, "I love my husband. I love my kids." Like,
oh, is that what it said? Oh.
Yeah. Like, is this how?
Well, I mean, that could just be a part of the delusion too. We don't know.
Yeah. Right. Potentially.
Like, they're not like, "Hey, Ma, you okay?"
I mean, if she has like all this crazy information, make it public. Right? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Stop keeping it.
I'm just like, I'm like
Well,
disgusted.
that's the thing that keeps
whoever's-
making me go back and forth. I can't
How
tell
do
if
you
it's
get there?
real delusion or it's just her seeking attention, because that's what it
Right.
seems a lot like.
But how do but how do you get there? Like, I mean, is it just attention-seeking behavior? And if it is, then you're wrong for giving her the attention that she's seeking, right? Like,
And so
anyone
aren't we
would.
done right now, right?
Yeah.
Sure, you're not wrong.
It's why I don't talk about Michael all that much anymore on here.
That's
Just
why I
let
stopped
her-
responding to him. Yeah, I'm like, this is just too crazy. Like, I
Let
can't
him
even-
be crazy in his own little corner until he, until natural selection takes care of him.
Well, the things that she thinks she's uncovered are easily proven false.
Well,
Like, she
if-
thinks that she
I
has
mean,
like
yeah.
something
like FINRA and their dark
groundbreaking.
pools. Like what?
They're regulators, dude. She thinks that they're in there running dart pools, like that they're participating in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got something for us, Platinum, or do you need me to stop?
Oh, sure. Let's just go back to old reliable here.
Anyway, we must protect Vinny at all costs, guys.
I will. Okay, so letter to the SEC and FINRA was sent in today. Good luck finding real shares after the investigation starts and the trades are being tracked. My completely legal kill shot number 2 has been
Is this
activated.
on Quantum?
Of course it is. He's paid to
Oh
show
my-
the shit out of it. But
This is
then
all he talks about now, right? He doesn't even talk about GME anymore.
look at somehow the total short volume is more
Oh my
than the
God,
total reported volume.
So that's what I'm saying. So he says like real shares, right? Like, so he's saying that like don't pay attention to what the OS is because that's not the real shares that are out there.
Well, don't pay attention to the lack of revenue or anything that has to do with this company.
Or that the company may lose access to
saying
its
that
underlying product.
Yeah, like just
So he's saying that 1,535 shares traded.
total, but yet the total short volume was 62,466.
The total short volume?
Right. Like how can the total short volume be more than the total
Because
volume?
short volume is not the same thing as short interest.
No, but how can the short volume be more than the total overall volume?
Yeah, can we get a citation needed on that?
Like Amy can't even comprehend this question because it's so stupid.
I really can't. And is he right? Like, first of all, are the numbers right?
Oh, I
Let's
have no
start
idea.
there.
Yeah,
I doubt
how
it.
can short volume be
More than
higher
the
than the
total
overall volume in the
Right.
stock?
That's my question.
I mean, can we fact check this? Because like
That's what I'm saying. I want a citation needed on your numbers there. Where are
Well,
you getting them
typically,
from?
it's typically like a percentage of the overall volume.
That's at 7:30 in the morning. So I can't really fact check it because I don't really know.
Pre-market?
7:30 Mountain Time would have been right at open. So that would have been right as the
Pre-market.
bell opens. What?
So somehow there is what? How's that possible?
On what day?
Yeah,
What day?
he's saying right at open.
May 29th.
Yeah.
Kill shot number 2.
Yeah, I would like some citations on those numbers.
I
'cause
can't
I'm
see
not
what that
buying
says.
them.
What is the ticker? QNTM?
Mhm.
You'll have to get the tick data.
Okay, so and you said what day?
May 29.
It's a Friday.
So Friday. All right. So Friday. All right. So total volume on Friday.
Well, pre-market.
Oh, so he's saying, wait, what? That's
Pre-market volume.
yeah,
If
because
you
that's because he's looking at right at the bell at 8 at right at 9:30 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you putting total short volume and total
This is the question.
reported volume?
Thank you. Now you're
But then singling it down to 7:30.
no idea. That's just what he. This is
How are you even getting that information?
kill shot number 2. It's a great question.
I'm not buying it. The total volume on Friday was 441,083 shares.
I can't see this at all. Yeah, that I can't even zoom in any more than that.
Yeah,
But
I'm going to pull up the short volume.
What do you want to bet that he took one candle from 1 hour right there at the beginning and then took the total daily short volume and then did not adjust for the actual time period for the short volume? What do you want to bet the daily short volume was 62,000?
Oh, you think?
Yeah. He's that retarded.
I mean, yeah.
So those numbers are right, except he got the opening hours for the total volume for that one period and then took the daily reported volume because he has no way to get the actual short volume for the interval. He only has the daily short volume. So his math is super fucked. Solved.
All right. So on the 29th, so the total.
I just thought, like, wait a second.
Oh my God.
Usually they don't have the tick by tick data.
You're actually right. Look at, hold on.
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. That's what I look.
Oh, you're looking at the same thing?
Look. Well, yes, I'm looking at the exact.
I solved it in real. I solved the puzzle in real time.
Yeah, that's what I pulled up. I was like, wait a minute.
Numbers.
This was on what day? The 29th?
Because they only report the short volume in daily volume, and he has the individual data on his broker for the volume traded.
Holy
and
shit!
The short volume is only reported daily.
What a fucking dummy!
The FINRA
you are so fucking retarded. Oh my God! I'm clipping this out and putting it on Meltdown. This is so stupid.
What day was it again? Tell me what day it was again.
May 29th.
Okay, so the 29th, the total volume was 62,049.
Oh, he has 62,466. So I don't even know where he came up with that number.
The FINRA total volume was 106,312.
There you go.
Right. But he's calling the total reported volume here 1,535 because this is pre-market total volume that he's mixing.
But he listed the total short
for the whole day rather than
what happens when you trust grifters with math. Last week we had to have someone do basic kindergartner math using Gronk.
Yeah, but this doesn't seem like just basic math. This is like they don't do tick by tick. Like this seems like how do you not know that that's not right? How do you well,
especially as someone who's a licensed financial advisor.
How do you accidentally put a total volume for the short data and then put
Dear
only
FINRA, if you're watching, could you maybe give Kevin Malone a knock on the door, please?
I mean, the short volume ratio for that day.
How does this guy keep his license?
Look who he sent it to. SEC Office of Investor Education and Advocacy. Like,
is the short volume at 4,089%? The short volume on the 29th.
No, 4,069%.
If he did legitimately send that to
the short volume ratio
and the
on that
SEC,
day is 58.37%.
Right. Yeah.
Where it should be. If he literally did send this to the SEC and FINRA, I bet the people who got this email were like, the minute they look at the numbers, it's so fucking obvious.
They're like, do you need some investor education? Because
yourself?
Looks like you're having a hard time there, Kevin.
But like, how is that not intentional? How do you put a total value on one and a pre-market value on the other and say that that's not intentional?
It's all about pumping quantum. That's all he cares about.
Right, but that's misleading. And that is publicly posted, written out, misleading.
Yeah, but
because he can always backpedal and say,
you can't tell me
that was
that's
an accidental mistake. Unless you've got some written documentation he actually intended to manipulate, he can say, oh, it was just an oopsie.
Well, one quantity he had to get at pre-market, the other he had to wait for the end of the day for.
Right.
So
unless he waited till the end of the day and pulled both numbers.
Yeah, but
what do you mean?
Why wouldn't he just give the total volume?
Because he's an idiot.
And then
that's always going to be his defense.
Well, the volume wouldn't be showing as 1,500 at the end of the day.
Look at this dummy. Okay, so this is probably another person who's getting paid to pump this stock, allegedly. Perhaps this is only my opinion. because they're also saying the same thing. And, Kevin saying that attached evidence, an annotated chart from TradingView and social
We're
media
taking Twitter
screenshot
tweets as evidence.
illustrating the short volume. Like, get the fuck out of here.
All righty.
And he posted that May 30th, right? So like,
Kill shot number 2. I wonder what kill shot number 1 was.
Does he think
now.
that people are going to read this, not fact check him like we just did, and go, look at this fucking idiot?
Absolutely.
What is it like? You send that in and what? Just hope they don't see it?
He didn't send shit in. He just wants to pump the stock. No one's going to send in this dumbass thing. I mean, he might.
Maybe
actually.
someone should send it as a whistleblower.
There's no
report
way
and get his
that
license
he checked
yanked.
for pre-market volume.
I am not suicidal. I am whistleblowing by Kevin Malone.
There's no way that he checked for the pre-market value or pre-market volume and the short volume ratio and came up with those numbers. Not after the fact.
He did.
Like he would have had to seek out the pre-market volume and then get the short volume.
Right. That's what happened probably.
But that's intentional.
Intentionally misleading, yes.
Anyway.
And that is stupid. And that is why I go with Kevin Malone. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the last
did
one.
Anybody in the comments say, bro, you're listing total value as one and pre-market on the other? Nobody said that?
So we have
we can't be the only ones that figured it out.
Starting to understand now, ... We have biotech snack. How is he calculating those numbers? How can short volume be greater than total volume?
My goodness. Somebody called out his horse shit.
Is he marking everything outside of short volume as total? So it's a ratio of short sale volume versus non-short sale on the day. Look, he's like really trying to how are you doing this?
But biosnack is one of us.
He's getting blocked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You watching this and then they tag some. That's how you represent and value your shareholders. Way to go, Kevin. Very interesting.
Did the stock run that day?
No idea.
Anywho, so my stupid tweet of the week is baggies getting musked. Literally nothing has been done at Doge_SEC. Literally nothing, Elon Musk. Congrats. Well, the point was never to help you losers. It was for Elon to extract money.
To help himself.
Also, the additional fantastic. But yeah, the point was to extract money from suckers like you. I don't need to thank you.
I'm sorry. The stock did run that day, by the way. The stock went from, sorry, I know we've moved on, but I just want to look at the stock went from around 1160 all the way to 1280.
Wow.
All right. So we have
is working off.
No, I'm sorry. More than that. It actually, I think it actually touched 13. So he did pump the stock that day.
That's what he's paid to do.
Pretty much.
And it topped out this week at 1450 and then fell hard. Fell pretty hard. Big dumps at 13 and then again at the end of the day yesterday.
Wow.
Bro. I'm about to file a whistleblower report on Kevin Malone.
Yeah. Don't forget to make that post that you're not suicidal and
I'm not suicidal. I don't even need to file a whistleblower report. He's doing it on Twitter.
You think the SEC is watching that right now?
Homie. You're not exposing anything.
Because his ADR form that he has to file, he doesn't include that Twitter account.
Oh, well, that's very deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
That is very deceptive.
I'd say so too, because it does say you're supposed to disclose all of your social media.
Well, really, what someone should do then is report to the SEC that he's not disclosing that he's basically going around pumping stocks from his.
He's not basically going around pumping stocks. He is.
Well, he disclosed. No, he did disclose that he's being paid in shares, but he's not disclosing that he's putting out misleading information in order to be paid those shares.
Yeah.
In order to pump those shares.
Right.
He could have gotten the shares.
Yeah. Oh, someone asked him on his AMA the other day if there's a lockup period for the shares that he got, and he's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
No, the answer is no.
The answer is no.
There is no lockup period.
Yep.
He didn't answer.
Yeah.
Well, of
Good.
course he
Yeah.
didn't.
Funny that. Funny that. You need to send me that AMA. I'm sure it's a gem.
He has AMAs all the time. That's the thing. It's like, how are you not going to report this account to FINRA when you're doing like financial AMAs every week? It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Well, I think that probably because FINRA would be none too happy with Mr. Malone if they saw that.
I mean, would they even care? You know, like, who knows?
Jesus Christ.
well,
It does sound chilly.
it does sound very chilly.
It's super chilly.
Alrighty. So hey, Ocelot, or I don't know if we haven't seen Rubbing My Axe tonight. It might have been someone else. I know I saw some viewers over there on Twitch. But yeah, basically, if you want to vote on this, I guess Ocelot, you can decide also which ones.
Yeah, if you saw all three, just vote on your favorite.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to vote for myself.
I kind of would too, because that's really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Really dumb.
Thanks, Kevin Malone, for always coming through for me.
Thanks for the win, Kevin Malone.
Can always rely on him.
I feel like we should start a ban list. Like, can't do any BAM investor tweets unless agreed on by the group. Can't do Michael tweets because he's perma-banned. Who else do we want to put on there as we can't do stupid tweets? I feel like
we have to leave. We have to leave him because he is a registered financial advisor. So
that's fair. That's fair. He can't be banned because he's supposed to be legitimate.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that'll do it for tonight. Any final words to finish us off with, Platinum?
Not really. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Amy.
Good night, gang.
All righty. We will catch you